My mate Jimmy is my oldest mucker, and we've known each other forever.
Josie, Oliver, stop running in the corridors.
And ever since we were kids, we've always been really passionate about great food.
So we've opened up our very own pop-up cafe here on the end of Southend Pier.
Who's up for a pie? I'll stick one down here.
To share great food and good times with lots of lovely people.
Are you guys hungry?
This series, it's all about feasts for the weekend.
Oh, that is so good.
I've got show-stopping recipes that will blow your friends and family away.
Guys, this is a blowout meal, something special for the weekend.
This is for people you love.
I'll show you how to cook great food you wouldn't normally try at home.
Check it out!
With some DIY food builds you can try this weekend. Cooking on the side of a flower pot inside a dustbin.
You've got to try this.
We couldn't have a food show without a food fight. We want to save some of the nation's best regional foods from extinction.
We are kind of bringing something that's almost forgotten back to life.
And back at the cafe, some special friends are dropping by to help out in the kitchen.
Get in!
What do you think?
Gorgeous.
I love it. Oh my God.
Service!
The weekends are for feasting. Thank food it's Friday.
It's going to be really, really good. You're going to love it.
On today's menu,
I'm going to be cooking the most jaw-dropping hunk of beef you've ever tasted.
ultimate steak, but definitely not as you know it.
I'm cooking up authentic tandoori chicken with a difference. Super heat is what you need.
And we're sampling an incredible, long-forgotten British cheese.
I'm excited, I'm sorry. Should we do it?
Let's do it.
Service, please. 2 extra teas there, me old mate.
Helping us out in the kitchen today is my old student, Kerry Ann.
Do you want a cup of tea?
Yeah.
We've got a great menu for you to feast on this weekend. And joining us to help us throughout the day is the fastest man on the planet.
Aye, aye. Look who it is! Usain Bolt in the cab! How you doing, man?
Feeling good?
Look, it's a beautiful day. It's just like Jamaica. What do you think?
It's cold. It's nice, but it's freezing outside.
It is cold, it is cold. As a kid, were you quite active? I mean, you know, you were.
When I was younger, my mum took me to the doctor because I wouldn't sit still. I was always climbing things. The doctor was like, he's fine, he's just really hyperactive. And it took me a while to get out of it, but it was a lot of fun. And we played cricket, football in the streets. It was so much fun.
Cricket was really your thing, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
my first one.
The run-in, correct me if I'm wrong, the run-in came from a bet that one of your teachers gave you about getting a box of food.
I remember you said I should start running. I was like, all right. And this one guy in my primary school was faster than me, and it was like, if you win, I'll give you a box lunch. I was like, all right.
What's a
let's go.
box lunch then?
It's just food. They call it box lunch in Jamaica.
Yeah.
So you would get chicken and rice.
Are you hungry?
Of course.
Good.
Are there any vegetarian 100-metre sprinters?
No, you can't be a vegetarian and run. I've seen people try, it doesn't work.
You like steak?
Yes, I do.
Right.
The first feast on today's menu is the ultimate weekend steak. I'll be serving it to Usain and our diners in the cafe, but I want to show you how to make it too.
Guys, this is for the ultimate steak, a blowout meal, something special for the weekend. This is a double steak, double thickness. This will feed 2 greedy or 4 people. We're going to create an incredible crust, amazing flavour, and still get beautiful, blushing, juicy meat on the middle. This is taking steak to a completely different level. Let me show you how to do it.
This isn't about the everyday. This is about going the extra mile to create a weekend feast. Trust me, your friends and family will love you for this one.
This is the côte de bœuf. It's been French trimmed. That means the meat off this bone has been removed. It's got 2 different cuts within the one cut. So we've got this cap meat here, which is darker, it's delicious, it's sweet. It's the bit that I always fight over on a roast 4 ribber beef. Then you've got this eye meat here, kind of a little bit more like a tasty sort of sirloin of steak. Notice the intramuscular fat, right? This is a good thing. It means that that fat will melt and season and take care of that meat, and it means flavour.
To go with the ultimate steak, I want to give you the ultimate golden crunchy roast potatoes. Get yourself some Maris Pipers. I've tested loads of these and they're the best. I'll just peel it with a knife, and that's what I want. A nice 2 squash ball sized piece of potato. Parboil them for longer than normal, around 12 minutes, until they're almost a bit mushy. Drain and let them steam till dry for an awesome crunch on the outside and extra fluffiness on the inside. Let's do it, let's cook it. So we'll preheat the tray and the oven to 200 degrees Celsius, 400 Fahrenheit. We're going to use 2 fats here. Olive oil, butter. That's going to give it colour and a lovely sweetness. Then we're going to go in with a really important herb to beef and potatoes. Good old rosemary. Apparently an antidepressant, so we can all do with a little bit of that. One more thing, guys, to take it to that extra place. 1 bulb of garlic, no peeling, no mucking about. Just give it a good old spank and into that fat. Right, now you want to coat all the spuds. Give them a big fat herby kiss of love and a good sprinkling of sea salt. Bung in the oven for 45 minutes to an hour at 220 until golden and crisp. Now, time to cook up the steak. So what I want to do is show you how to perfect the perfect steak. First up, I'll give it a good rub all over with sea salt and finely ground black pepper. Beef loves pepper. You want to get this out of the fridge an hour and a half before you cook it, because if I took you off a beach in Ibiza and threw you in the sea in Iceland, right, you'd be like, ah! And that's what that meat's going to do if you try and cook it like that from the fridge, right? So we want it to be nice and gentle. So in this pan, I'm going to add some oil. I'm going to go in fat side down. Let's get the fat touching the pan first. Let's get that fat rendering, and it'll also put more fat in the pan, which will kiss the meat later. I'm just sealing the steak at the moment. Then put it onto the face, just like that. Now you remember, we want to go for double steaks, right? Double steaks allows us the ability to create that bark, that crust, that flavour, that beautiful, beautiful look and feel, okay? You can't do that with a regular single portion of steak. Cooking at the weekend is all about taking the time to create something special. So turn that steak every minute for perfect results. Look at the fat dancing around here, okay? That's what we want. That's going to create that amazing flavour. Next up, make yourself a herb brush. Any woody herbs will do. Rosemary, thyme, oregano. Get a wooden spoon out and tie up all the herbs with a piece of string. Ah, flavour, perfume, care, simplicity itself. Absolutely gorgeous. I like the beef medium rare, but my wife loves it just blushing. So I'm going to cook it for 6 minutes on each side. Once it's gnarly and gorgeous on the outside, give it a good baste with the juices from the pan and leave it to rest for 4 minutes. Now, an amazing tip to take your ultimate roast potatoes to a whole new level. Get down to Boots. Go and get those funny little spritzer things that your wife buys to put things on her hair or on her face, or I don't know what the girls do with this stuff, and do something really real with it, right? We're going to plonk in some herbs, any spices, anything that gets your thing going, right? I want to fill this up with a kind of flavoured or spiced vinegar, cider vinegar, white wine vinegar. Even here, I've used chili and red wine vinegar, right? I have 2 or 3 of these hanging about, and when I'm roasting meats or potatoes, I pull it out when it's sizzling and put it back in the oven, and it gives it this little hidden, invisible something, right? This is proper secret stuff. I shouldn't be telling you this stuff. This is how we go the extra little level in the restaurants, okay? And that's what you get. When the potatoes are nearly done, spritz on that layer, back in, 30 seconds, dehydrates, sticks to it. It's going to be subtle, don't worry. I'm not talking like fish and chips, but there's going to be that little bit of something on the little bit of crust, on that little bit of roast potato that just punches you in the face and goes, Booyakasha! Shimon! Ow! That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Tell you what we're going to do. The next bit, we need to squash them. The ultimate roast potato needs to be squashed, okay? Get something flat on top, and we're just going to squash it. The fluffiness comes out, the crispy bit goes flat, so we're going to get more surface area of crisp and more fluff exposed. Finish them off with another spritz of vinegar and a final sizzle in the oven. Now it's time to slice up our steak. Season with sea salt and mix some good quality extra virgin olive oil with the juices. Drizzle all over the steak to keep it lovely and moist. Juicy steak, the ultimate roast potatoes, and a fresh lemon and watercress salad. Now that's a proper weekend treat. So look at that. Ultimate steak, but definitely not as you know it. That is another level. Double steak, triple whammy. I know for a fact that Usain Bolt and the rest of the CAF are gonna love this. So there you go, Usain. What do you reckon of that steak?
Looking
Big
good.
enough for you?
Yes, it is.
Right, let's take this off. How do you like your steak when you have it?
Medium well.
Medium well. And you can see there's two different cuts of meat there. They taste completely different.
Wonderful.
You like that meat?
Your kind of food?
Yes.
We should get this served. We're eating.
Well, look, if I slice it, do you mind
I
serving it for us?
probably would eat everything here.
Let's just smash it. Okay. Boom. Go for it, bro. Anyone fancy a bit of Usain's meat? Yeah. Funny that.
You want a lot or a little bit?
My steak is going down a storm. Cook this up at the weekend and your friends and family are gonna love you.
Anybody want any more? No, yes, no, yes. Don't be shy.
There are more weekend feasts to come, including the special. Olympic legend Usain Bolt is cooking his favourite meal.
So what is the dish you're going to cook today?
For me, jerk pork. It's my favorite dish. I love it. I was brought up on it. When I was growing up, my mom, my aunt, they always cook for me because Aunt Lily lived pretty much up the road from me. So if I'm passing
Here's
by...
Aunt Lily. Lovely looking lady. Bless her heart.
Your Aunt Lily, I mean, you'd pass by a house and you'd nip in for something to eat, would you?
Yeah, every time if I want something to eat before, sometimes I was just greedy. Because you walk in past and you smell that food, you're like, okay, I'm stopping for a minute. I go in and just talk to her, just, oh, hi, Aunt, I came to look for you. No, I didn't. I just smell the food.
Well, listen, let me explain. What we do on this show is we want to go back into your memories and get the authentic taste, the real flavours. So I've been on the phone to your Aunt Lily, and we just spent like half an hour talking through exactly how she makes her pork. I've got her salad, her dumplings, her pork, her jerk tastes, and then rats and peas. So we're going to have a proper cook-up, but also to get you sort of dancing around this kitchen is by cooking for our cafe audience here.
You've got to feed this lot.
Yeah.
It should be interesting.
Our cafe in Southend is buzzing. We're cooking up a storm with a menu packed full of feasts for a seriously tasty weekend.
So you saying, come in here, into the kitchen. This is your new home. Today, Olympic legend Usain Bolt is helping in the kitchen, and we're cooking his all-time favourite dish, jerk pork. I spoke to Usain's Auntie Lily, and she's given me the original recipe. So Usain, Aunt Lily's amazing jerk pork. What goes with jerk pork?
Dumplings.
Dumplings.
Yes.
Very important to Jamaicans.
Very
yeah?
much.
Well, we're going to go in with 250 grams of self-raising flour, 50 grams of cornmeal, 250 mils of water, and a really good pinch of salt. Have a little mix up there, Usain. Is this the first time you've made dumplings?
First time.
I mean, obviously, if it had yeast in it, you could make bread, but this is the dumpling. So we're going to boil it in water. Of course, you could boil it in stock. Let's get that onto the marble and give it a good kneading with some hard work and dedication. Go for it, bro. You know, so what? I'm just presuming you know what kneading is. Right, we want to just basically... Sorry, man, I'm a bad teacher. Give it a good old knead like that, if you want to show off as well. Right, you just... Basically, because half of cooking is styling, you know what I mean? So, just kind of always look somewhere else, have a little go at that. That's it, looking around, checking it out. Turn the tunes on. So we've got some tunes going, so you're just pumping it. Always looking at, never looking at what you're doing because you're so good you don't need to.
So cool.
Yeah.
How are you doing today?
When you get sticky, you do a little bit of flour. So when you grab the flour from me, just do it from a height and just like, you don't care about it, just throw it down. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So Usain, you'll know exactly what Aunt Lily's look like size-wise.
So let's go with this.
Really?
I'm just saying.
Remember, they're going to get bigger in the water.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Can I leave you to do that? Down to you, mate. No pressure.
Guys, if it doesn't look good, I'm sorry. First of all, some styling. So you got back and forth. I feel like a chef. I should have been doing this for years.
While Usain styles it in the kitchen, it's time to tell the story behind the next item on the menu. A beaut of a cheese from Nottinghamshire. It's delicious, but it's on the verge of extinction. Now that's worth a food fight.
Every week, Jimmy and I want to save some of the nation's best regional foods. This week, we're in Nottingham.
Here we are, the Nottingham countryside.
I love Nottingham. I've got a little bit of a thing for it.
Also, they've got the Sheriff of Nottingham, who was the arch enemy of Robin Hood.
But this region should be known for more than men in tights. It's also home to a long-forgotten local delicacy.
This is a really good one. It's cheese.
I love cheese.
But it's not hard cheese.
No, it's a soft cheese.
It's a fresh cheese.
It's a fresh cheese.
Yeah.
Fresh cheese used to be produced all over Britain, but these days we're more into Italian ricotta or Greek feta from the supermarket. Well, it's time to ditch the foreign fromage and resurrect a great British classic.
Bit of a strange name. This fresh cheese is called Colwick.
Colwick?
Yeah, I know. It's
That's
a
what
weird...
your baby gets.
Yeah, it's a weird name.
It's named after the village of Colwick in Nottinghamshire, where it was first made in the 1600s. It's fresh, meaning it's unripened and has no preservatives, so it doesn't keep for long, and that's why it's not popular with the supermarkets.
Fresh cheese, you don't see it that often.
It's not a very commercial cheese.
No, but you know, that idea of using fresh cheese still exists in Italy.
Well, a ricotta's made every single day.
Yes.
And it's used within a few days.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Colwick cheese was popular throughout Nottinghamshire for almost 400 years. But with the rise of supermarkets, small creameries closed down one by one until this artisanal cheese had completely disappeared by the 1990s. However, we've heard that local dairy farmers Alan and Jane have recently attempted to revive the Colwick cheese trade.
I love people like that.
I love the idea that it's farmers taking a raw material and turning it
making something
into
out
a
of it.
product that you
Yeah,
can
I
sell
agree.
straight off.
And more farmers doing that, the better, I say.
Yeah.
The supermarkets may not want to stock it, but we want to put this wonderful cheese back on the culinary map.
This is exciting, Jim.
Excited, I can't wait.
Hello, boys. Welcome.
Hello. This is beautiful. That is a beautiful cheese.
Look at it.
Oh, my Lord.
Lovely. Lovely, delicate.
It's as good as any amazing fresh cheese I've ever had in my life. How old's that?
It's a week.
That's a week. I'd love to taste it when it's just made and ready to go.
I've got one we made yesterday.
Oh, my God, look at that.
There we are, try that. Now, this is unsalted.
Unsalted?
Yeah.
So you salt it after you've made it?
Yeah.
It's just, I'm excited, I'm sorry.
Look at that.
It's like a perfectly cooked quiche.
Yes, yes, it's got that element to it. Look at it, it's like marshmallowy.
Oh, my God. Completely different.
Yep. Almost mozzarella-y
Oh,
like.
my Lord. See, they're both exquisite, salted and unsalted. But this, you could use that for breakfast. You could have that with grilled peaches, grilled pear, honey. You can make desserts out of it, cheesecakes.
It's phenomenal. It's a
tartar.
It's super, super, super versatile.
I'm so excited about this cheese. We've got to see how it's made. Its secrets are held in the creamery.
Milk the cow through there,
Yep.
into the pasteuriser, swing the pipe down, milk into the vat.
Right. Are we going to cut the curds?
We don't actually cut the curds at all. All we do is just ladle them through straight into the moulds.
I love this. What's that, an old hot tub?
Each cheese is made with care, crafted by hand using traditional techniques.
Why is it so important to retain this method of doing things?
You're only a little blip in the ocean, so you've got to do something that big dairies can't do.
Yeah.
You have to be unique somehow.
Are you having fun, Jamie?
Unlike you, Jimmy, I'm just happy being quiet and just taking it all in.
Well, I need to know things.
Including which breed of cow is responsible.
How many got in here then, Helen?
There's 50 red poles.
So tell me some of their names.
That's an Angela. That's a Candy 14.
Now, these aren't all old girlfriends' names, are
Well,
they? I caught you out there, Helen.
That's
I
right.
bet you've got a couple of old favourites
I'm not
out there,
gonna
haven't you?
say that,
Yeah,
no.
you keep that. That's between me and
Yeah.
you. So without these red poles, would your cheese be so good?
I think the colour of the cheese would be definitely different and the texture. A cow that produces less milk, I think, has got more flavour.
Quality over quantity?
Yes.
They must be costing you a fortune, because they're not high yielders, are they?
No, it makes the cows really non-profitable.
But if these cows are costing you so much money, why on earth are you still doing it?
You're not just in it for the buck that you get out of it, you're in it because it's your life.
You're in it because you love these cows and you love the cheese you make.
Yeah.
These two local food heroes are clearly committed to their cause.
You two obviously work very hard.
We do, yeah.
7 days a week.
That's difficult. And I mean, both of us love the job. We love the cows. We love being, farming. We love making the cheese.
I think it's really important that local people start understanding this sort of sweat, love and tears around product instead of just faceless brands down an aisle. I can tell there's a lot of love there, but I also feel that you're sort of wondering, like, what the bloody hell are we going to have to do?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely farmers and producers. We're really not very good at marketing.
Well, look, can I give you the good news? That really is a great cheese. This is not a cheese for a supermarket.
No,
this is a cheese for butcher shops, delis, restaurants, pubs.
Yeah.
I'm excited to communicate this story, because this is just a beautiful, beautiful thing. All I need is some product and a little chill box.
We've got those for you.
Let's do it.
You all right, Jim?
We're all good. You got the cheese?
Yep.
I'll take those. Get in the car, Jamie. We've got a job to do.
We've got a plan. Just like Robin Hood and his merry men, we want to deliver the riches of Nottingham back to the people. Can we put this great cheese back on the map? First stop, our little cafe. So you're saying this is Colwick cheese? You ever seen a cheese like that?
No.
This is a fresh cheese.
It's actually good.
So guys, what do you think of Colwick cheese? You like it? Yeah! You can't imagine the Italians or the French letting a great cheese like this disappear. So why not get curious this weekend? Raid the farmers markets, raid the delis and the farm shops, and find out what regional foods are local to you. Here at the cafe, we're getting ready for a delicious weekend, packed with exciting feasts that can be shared with friends and family.
So far, we've served Jamie's ultimate steak and a delicious fresh cheese from Nottinghamshire. Now back to the main event. Usain Bolt is making his Aunt Lily's jerk pork and dumplings, his all-time favourite dish.
He's got the dumplings underway. Next job, the essential jerk sauce. Starting with cloves, nutmeg and pimentos. That's the heart of jerk. Then a big hit of garlic with fragrant thyme, bay and of course, chilli. So I've taken 2 Scotch bonnets. I've taken the seeds out because they're the bits that really kick your ass in more ways than one. Some spring onions, honey, vinegar and rum to round things off. So of course that's the raw flavour, but can you feel that kind of flavours going on? It's good, huh?
Very.
Then pour half the sauce over the diced pork belly and massage it in. Now I've got some Usain that we have cooked off already, but there's one technique that you want to learn in the kitchen, isn't there?
Yes.
Go on, tell us.
I want to learn to chop.
Learn to chop.
I've always seen it on TV. I've always seen the chef doing it, so I've always wanted to learn to chop. I want to know the technique.
Okie dokie. If I may have the Usain Bolt box. In all seriousness, in restaurants, kitchens, you know, we do have big boys in the kitchens, and they do literally have to do this, because your back will go. You'll last 2 years and you'll be crippled. First up, notice this stalk here, that's facing up, and that's going to hold the whole onion together. What we're going to do is just use the length of the knife and just cut through, and then you're going to put it onto its side. And then what I'm going to do is just not quite cut to the end. Go for it.
So nervous.
Then you're going to put your fingers on the top and just gently cut to about there. And then we get to the most exciting bit. Take your time. Don't do anything you wouldn't do. That's it.
Making me nervous. All right, let's do this.
Fingers in. Fingers in.
Fingers in.
Yeah. All right. Those fingers, those pinkies are coming out. Mind the thumb. Nice. So, guys, that was Usain Bolt's first onion. Come on. I think, you know, this is my moment. We should race.
No.
Okay.
Picking on a weak link.
You want to see us race? Okay, on your marks, get set.
Hey!
On your starting block.
I'm not even ready yet.
On your marks, get set, go.
It's ridiculous.
I'm done. Oh, yeah, thanks very much. Thank you very much. So let's get back in the zone, Usain. Let's get back to Aunt Lily. Do you want to put a penny on?
Calm down.
So this has been sweating for about 15 minutes. You know, we've got flavour, we've got the jerk going on, right? We want to take it up a notch. And to do that is our dear friend... Rum. Okay? And we're going to cook it away, though. So there won't be alcohol in it, it's just on it. But the perfume left from this is going to be absolutely incredible. If you can pour it, it will flame, but don't be scared of it. Don't be scared of it.
Hold on.
Just... OK, let's go.
Whoa!
And then we're going... That's what I'm talking about. Toss. Yeah. That's it. Nice. OK. So listen, if you put that down now... Sweet onions, the fiery jerk, and then the rum. When the alcohol goes, you're left with that barrel and flavour. So now the last bit is the other half of this marinade goes straight in here. I'll put in some water. And then Aunt Lily says, just cook it till tender. She wouldn't give me a time. And I think that's important because it's ready when it's ready. It's ready when it's tender. Cover and put in the oven at 150 degrees Celsius. That's around 300 Fahrenheit. And cook it low and slow, baby.
Now I want to show you how to make the next Friday night feast. Authentic, delicious tandoori chicken straight from the oven. Real deal tandoori chicken is one of the nation's favourite takeaway treats. It's cooked in a special oven called a tandoor. It's one of the oldest, hottest ovens in the world, reaching scorching temperatures of up to 480 degrees C. It cooks food really fast, infusing it with smoky flavours while keeping it moist and juicy inside. The only way to enjoy tandoori chicken at home has been to get a takeaway. Until now. Today, I'm going to show you how to build a tandoor oven in your own backyard.
Believe it or not, I'm going to turn this dustbin into one of the best ovens you've ever seen, a tandoor oven.
Pop to your DIY store and get yourself a metal dustbin, take an angle grinder and some fireproof bricks.
Then you want a bucket of sand. It's going to stop it getting too hot at the bottom, so if you've got it on your grass, it's not going to scorch your grass to bits. So imagine your guests coming round and you say, we're having a tandoori roast up. Oh, what are you going to do? Get it from the local Indian takeaway? No, I've got my own tandoori oven in the dustbin. Fire bricks, really important. These are going to act as the base and the walls of the oven. I've cut some of these bricks here so they fit on the bin, easy to buy from your DIY store. And for the sides of the oven, I'm just using half a brick. So they sit in like that.
Leave a gap in the bricks and grab your power tools.
A little square there. That is going to be where the air is going to flow in. That is the secret to the tandoor oven.
Air gets sucked in and drawn over the hot coals. This hot air then cooks the food as it travels up through the oven.
Now I need to put a lid on it. This is the technical bit, plant pot. This is how simple it is. Now it's not just a lid, this is going to act as a funnel. It's going to draw up that air and really turn this oven into a jet engine.
The sloped walls of the pot will bounce the radiant heat all around the oven. And a load of insulating gravel finishes things off. This mineral called vermiculite is widely available and will help the oven retain those massive temperatures.
Look in there, that is brilliant.
Time to load it with charcoal and fire it up. At full whack, this tandoor should get almost twice as hot as a domestic oven.
My tandoor oven has been firing away now for a good 20 minutes. Jeez, that is hot. Let's have a little go on the probe. Just about 400 degrees C. Remember, this is about speed cooking. It's that super heat is what you need.
Time to put my delicious chicken pieces into the tandoor. The oven is so hot a marinade is essential. Lemon juice to tenderize and yogurt to protect the outside. You can cook whole fish, whole stuffed peppers and even a whole leg of lamb. As the chicken cooks, the fat will splash down onto the hot coals, sending wonderful smoky flavours back up to the meat.
Right, a couple of little naan breads. Now this is the tricky bit. Traditionally, just whack them on the side. Do I put a glove on or do I go for it? I reckon I'm going to go for it.
Carefully slap the bread on. It's extremely hot, so take care or use a glove. It should cook in only 60 seconds.
Did you ever think you would see a naan bread cooking away on the side of a flower pot inside a bin? My chicken's done, but what happens with these type of kebabs is that the bottom gets cooked really quickly. So what you can do, rest them on the side like that with the bits that aren't all coloured up, and they'll soon colour. Woohoo! Look at the naan. That is fantastic. Put it on there. Look at that. You can see on the outside all the natural sugars have caramelised, but on the inside, look at that meat still here. Look at that juice. Still really juicy, really, really tender. Oh my God. You've got to try this. You won't believe you can make something like that out of something so weird as that. Forget your dodgy barbecues.
Just one afternoon and only 50 quid later, and you've got an oven for creating amazing, authentic Indian food at home.
Can you believe this? I cooked it in a dustbin.
Yeah, it was a clean bin though, yeah? It wasn't a dirty old.
It was clean after I got the fires going.
Yeah.
Look at that though. That's serious.
You're just styling it there,
Yeah, but do you know what? You can't stop him, can you?
Yeah.
I just can't help it.
There you go, tuck into that.
Beautiful and so worth trying. You just can't get results like this cooking in a conventional oven.
Come on, I'm gonna do you one. Usain, have a little bit of this, bro.
But the thing is, all these types of cooking, build yourself a little tandoor instead of having a barbecue.
It's great, Jim. Did you have fun doing it?
I nearly burnt the farm down.
What do you think, mate, of our little bin tandoor?
He's like, yes, issues.
He's got issues.
I'm saying, this is good though.
Yeah.
So it works.
He's always had issues.
It works.
What is that?
I don't know.
Anyway, it's good to eat.
You know what I'm telling you, it's crazy.
It's late afternoon in Southend and our caff is rammed. On the menu, we've chosen dishes perfect for weekend feasts.
Yo, Usain, how's it going, man? I can see you got another knife in your hand.
Yeah. I'm chopping, chopping.
While Usain Bolt's busy cooking his Aunt Lily's jerk pork and dumplings.
That's a lot bigger than I thought.
Yeah, well, I told you they were going to grow. Is that bigger than normal?
That's huge.
We're continuing our food fight. Can we bring back regional speciality Colwick cheese? I'm excited, Jim.
I'm really excited. We need this lovely cheese, this Colwick, this cheese to be back in the mainstream.
For nearly 400 years, Colwick was the cheese of Nottinghamshire until the small dairies that made it were killed off by the rise of the supermarkets. With its soft texture and delicate flavour, it could be up there with fresh cheese favourites like mozzarella and ricotta. Farmers Alan and Jane have started producing again, but they need help to find a way to get it back on the radar of the local people.
If we can't sell these cheeses, that'll be the end of it. And that will be the end of this unique product. The only fresh cheese that I know made in the UK from red pole milk will be gone. It'll be extinct again.
We're working on a plan to get this great cheese back to the good people of Nottinghamshire. We're setting up a tasting event to show local restaurants and delis just how delicious and versatile this cheese is. See you later.
First job, to round them all up.
Have you ever seen anything that looks like that?
That's amazing. It's very fresh, it's very, very light. A bit like ricotta, but 1,000 times better.
2 o'clock-ish?
Perfect. Yeah. See you, bye. Bye.
Time to get cracking in the kitchen. To get the local restaurateurs and deli owners excited, I want to create a whole range of dishes using this versatile cheese. We're going to roast it, we're going to melt it, we're going to grill it. Right, let's do a bit of cooking. We're going to go in with some olive oil, beautiful fragrant herbs, a few sage leaves. So I'm going to have a little lemon zest. If that was actually on a little pizzetta or a pizza, that's going to be amazing. I think that freshness is going to work really well in the pasta. That works, doesn't it? That really works, yeah. Sweet and sour balsamic, roasted nuts, prosciutto, peach, Colwick cheese. We got a nice batch of fennel and Colwick risotto. If you look at my fork right now, what's lovely is you've got it gone into little bits, but also nice big bits of curd, and that's a treat to eat, that really is. We've taken beautiful music bread. It's just soaked in water, and that Colwick's melted just beautifully over these mushrooms. I like that a lot. So this is basically Colwick ravioli with a primavera pesto sauce.
It's out of this world. This is the best day of my life.
Oh.
Better not tell Alan that.
What this proves is that Colwick cheese is a really, really elegant cheese. It's a chef's cheese. You can use it across many different types of cooking. It's a blessing to have in the kitchen.
Chef, thank you all for coming. Come in.
It's showtime. Can we get this great regional cheese back on the local menus?
We've got this beautiful thing here called Colwick cheese.
I think this has real relevance to all of your restaurants, and it has a place in our modern cuisine.
And whether it's sweet or savoury, curdy or crumbled, I think it's really diverse.
So enjoy it.
Music bread, Colwick cheese, simple mushrooms. It doesn't just go completely oozy, it sort of holds its shape quite a bit.
At the deli, it's all about the ingredients for us, so to actually have something like this on your doorstep, it's really, really good.
What I wanted to do for the chefs was just show you if we can play with consistencies. But it's not a fully formed dish, but the point of it for me really is that you can get this incredible, delicate, whipped up sort of fluffy flavour.
Because it's such a local product. It's fantastic.
It's completely delicious. It's got more taste and it's more subtle than the usual soft cheese. It's definitely got something about it. Yeah, lovely.
Are they liking it?
The reactions are really good. All the chefs are saying how versatile it is, really good. The deli owners, the farm shop guys, they think it's really good. They can see it in the fridge already. But also, Jane, she said she was so nervous to start off with, but Jane's flying now. And Alan's got his little order book hidden away, so I think he's going to jump out and start doing the other thing. But I'll catch you in a bit.
As a chef, to have something really local like that, when they come to our restaurant in Nottingham, they're having an ingredient that's from Nottingham and they can't get it anywhere else. It's absolutely brilliant.
So tell me, what do you think?
Yes, it's very nice.
I don't know if there are many other cheeses that are actually, you know, you can do everything with it.
You can do a savoury or a sweet, even something like on toast with a bit of balsamic vinegar for a sandwich, or you know, even a cheesecake. Yeah. It's fantastic.
You'll only buy it if it's worthy of being on your menus. I know how scrupulous all of you are. But at the same time, having come from your industry, that actually you guys could be the basis of the sustainability of this cheese.
After the tasting, everyone decamps outside, so Alan and Jane can get up close and personal and take some orders.
I'd maybe go for 2 or 3 of the larger size, and then we might go for a dozen or so of the smaller ones.
It's one of those times that we can actually stand back and let the relationship grow. Orders!
That's what it's all about.
Get the orders in.
Maybe 8?
8? Righty-ho. Wonderful.
Result, the orders are stacking up, and Colwick cheese will soon be back on the map.
Well, it's been going really well.
Yeah.
The only problem I'm worried about is how we're going to fit the calf in the Capri.
I don't know how it's going to get in the boot, I've got to say.
So, Alan, what's happened with the cheese?
We've increased production on the cheese, which has been really good. We're selling in now to a lot more restaurants into Nottingham. It's been, you know, really sort of taken off over the last few weeks.
When you say you've increased production, by how much?
About 60%.
Well, that's meaningful. I mean, we're getting on the way to doubling production.
The confidence you've given us, we've put the cheese into the Global Cheese Awards, and we've got a silver award for the best new cheese and a silver award for a soft cheese. So that's been sort of fantastic,
It's
really,
wonderful.
giving us the confidence to sort of put some into a show.
Well, you know what? I have actually got a little bit of extra news. We've entered this cheese into a sort of department of the slow food movement. The slow food movement is an incredible organisation around the world that celebrates real food done properly by artisans. And basically, they've accepted to take this, which means automatically this cheese is going to be introduced to a whole network of chefs around the whole of the UK. Not just that, it's international as well.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Everyone, here's the Colwick cheese! Right, I'm going to go and check on Usain.
Mate, he's running away with your food.
It's the moment of truth for Usain's all-time favourite dish, his Aunt Lily's jerk pork and dumplings. But will it wow our diners?
Right, it's all serious now. The laughing has got to stop. Let's get rice and peas over there, Usain. The other thing is I've got a little surprise for you. Yams. So I've just boiled them and I've just roasted them, just heavy on the bay. I think it's going to be wicked.
Guys, Usain, how's it going?
What?
It's good? Ready to go? Are you guys hungry? Yeah! Listen to that.
Calm down.
We've been here all day. Someone get a starting pistol. That'll help.
Listen, I want you just to have a look at this. This has just been in the oven. Right, I know it looks...
Brilliant.
So look, it looks like it's cooked now, but that is intensity. This is not a stew. Yeah. You know, Aunt Lily was very specific. She wants moisture, but it's got to be kind of dry.
Does this take you back to your childhood?
Yes. Looks so good.
I'm going to show you what I want you to do. I'll do one plate, and then you're going to do everyone else's. Just going to use some coriander, but just that's your time to like style it again. So that, my friend, is my homage to Aunt Lily's jerk pork, rice and peas, dumplings.
Wow.
How is that?
Forget it, guys. Just go home.
Do you honestly think that you'll have a go at cooking this? I'll send you the recipe.
I promise.
It's your auntie's.
I will.
Hopefully one day I'm going to see you and you're going to have found that special woman in your life. And I'm like, how'd it go? And you go, yeah. I did the rice and peas and the pork and I was styling it out and I was rolling it out.
Do that pose again.
You can't stop putting it in your mouth and serve people. It's not about you, there's people to serve. Come on, let's go.
Okay, are you ready to do this? Get ready.
Just stretching.
Yay! Don't rip your trousers.
This is my favorite part. Some style.
That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, Usain Bolt's jerked pork and dumplings. What a hero.
Service! Did you order rice and peas and pork?
Thank you.
Bon appetit.
What a day. Usain has mastered his all-time favourite dish and won over the cafe crowd.
I cooked delicious tandoor chicken in a bin.
I've served a sizzling steak feast.
And a great regional British cheese is back on the map.
We hope you're inspired to get busy this weekend. Next time on Friday Night Feast. Woohoo! Yeah! That's what it does to you. I'm serving a theatrical fish dish that will bring the house down. Absolutely amazing. Jimmy's cooking a DIY hog roast for the ultimate crackling.
It's a box, it's a present. You open it up, there's a wonderful cooked pig inside.
We're fighting to revive an incredible Lancashire biscuit that the locals have forgotten. This is like the ultimate tea and biscuit. And Sienna Miller is cooking her favourite Italian recipe for the cat. Do you mind putting on a little bit of rubber for Mr. Oliver?
I would love to put on rubber for you, Jamie.
My mate Jimmy is my oldest mucker, and we've known each other forever.
Josie, Oliver, stop running in the corridors.
And ever since we were kids, we've always been really passionate about great food.
So we've opened up our very own pop-up cafe here on the end of Southend Pier.
Who's up for a pie? I'll stick one down here.
To share great food and good times with lots of lovely people.
Are you guys hungry? Yeah! This series, it's all about feasts for the weekend.
Oh, that is so good.
I've got show-stopping recipes that will blow your friends and family away. Guys, this is a blowout meal, something special for the weekend. This is for people you love.
I'll show you how to cook great food you wouldn't normally try at home.
Check it out!
With some DIY food builds you can try this weekend.
Cooking on the side of a flower pot inside a dustbin. You've got to try this.
We couldn't have a food show without a food fight. We want to save some of the nation's best regional foods from extinction. We are kind of bringing something that's almost forgotten back to life.
And back at the cafe, some special friends are dropping by to help out in the kitchen.
Get in!
What do you think?
Gorgeous.
I love it. Oh my God.
Service! The weekends are for feasting. Thank food it's Friday.
It's going to be really, really good. You're going to love it. On today's menu, we have a theatrical fish dish that's going to bring the house down. Woo-hoo! That's what it does to you.
I'm cooking a DIY hog roast for the ultimate crackling.
This is unique. It's like Christmas.
And we tuck into an incredible forgotten British biscuit. This is like the ultimate tea and biscuit biscuit.
Right, let's have these teas out there, please.
Keeping the kitchen in order is Jamie's old student, Kerry Ann.
Always a pleasure to see your lovely smiling face, Kerry Ann.
Is it?
No, I just made that up to work harder.
We've got a great menu for you to feast on this weekend.
And joining us to help us throughout the day is one very special friend.
Sienna Miller is in the cafe, guys!
Come and sit yourself down.
Are you all right?
I'm good. Gee,
Lovely to see you.
It's warm in here.
Southend Pier.
Southend Pier. It's a very long pier.
It's the longest pier in the world. Pleasure Pier, yes.
Yeah.
1.3 miles long.
Pleasure Pier sounds a bit wrong.
And you live in the UK, but you were born in the States. Mum South African, was there any sort of weird food crossovers growing up?
The South African element was weird because as a baby I was given to teed on a stick of biltong. So I was like this feral, kind of wild,
Look on this.
running around like gnawing on meat, dried meat. There was a lot of that. There are some really alarming photos.
So
like
biltong baby food.
Messy hair, biltong
Sienna
baby
Miller,
teed.
that's
It's
coming
really
soon.
good for teething. I'm experiencing that now.
You're in the country now. Where is it that you live?
In Dorset, it's rural,
Country's
bucolic,
idyllic.
bliss. This morning I went out with my baby and got the 2 eggs from the chickens.
Love it.
And made her a boiled egg, and it's heaven. It's so good for the soul.
Are you quite a big foodie?
I am a huge foodie. I've always loved my food. I think from a very young age.
When you were sort of 10, did you have a favourite meal?
Dad used to make this thing. I was obsessed with his bolognese. It was like Dad's bolognese, and then I found out recently that it was just a pot from Waitrose. And for years I was like, my dad's bolognese is the best bolognese. Yeah, I love cooking. I love eating.
If you love food, you're gonna love this. It's time for the first weekend feast on today's menu. I'm gonna cook up a dish. This is a style of cooking in salt. Spanish.
Baking things in salt.
It's dramatic, it's amazing. And if you're ever doing a dinner party and you want to show off, this is the one to do.
Is it?
I'll be serving out to Sienna and the cafe, but first I'm going to show you how to cook it at home. OK guys, no mucking about now. We're going to cook a whole fish in salt. It's a bonkers old school method. You can do it at home and also great to cook for a lot of people. Let's do it. This dish is a showstopper, and after the rich, heavy foods of Christmas, your friends and family are going to love these fresh and bright flavours. I've bought a whole load of rock salt. Get yourself like 4 or 5 kilos, or enough to cover up the fish you're going to cook. So, first up, a little water. So just a couple of eggs, just cracked in like that, and just scrunch it up. Just a little egg is going to allow the salt to kind of really go firm, like a shell. The salt will completely encase the fish, sealing all the juices inside.
Let's talk about our fish. I'm gonna cook a nice big one, a salmon. Just look at that. The gills are super red. The eyes, look at those, you know it's fresh. Leave the scales on for cooking in salt, always. I've had it gutted. We do not want the salt to go into this cavity. So we're gonna take any fresh herb we can get our hands on. So I've got fennel here, just rip it up. I've got some marjoram, some parsley, some chives, then grab some lemon. That's just gonna create a little humidity in the air. Now let's do the last bit. It's that simple.
The whole salmon costs £10 to £15 a kilo, and you can use whatever size fish you like. A 5 kilo whopper like this will feed about 20 people.
Get yourself a nice big tray, create a little base for the fish to go in. This is a big old boy, so I'm gonna go at an angle, corner to corner. Then simply go over the top with the salt. You want about 2 centimetres of salt under the fish and over and around the fish, because when you kind of heat up that salt, it's just gonna bake hard. It kind of creates like a kind of cocoon, a cave, and then you take it out of the oven, it still carries on cooking in the salt, because this is an oven. This will be an oven. So when you look inside that, you're gonna have the most silky, melt in your mouth, juicy fish ever. And you're gonna think I'm mad, but when you see what it looks like when it's cooked, everything's gonna change. Let's whack it in the oven, 40 minutes, and we'll have a look. Bye-bye, fish.
While that cooks at 200 degrees Celsius, I'm gonna make the ultimate accompaniment. This is a blowout meal for the weekend, so it's all about taking the time to create something special.
Let's make proper mayonnaise. I'm gonna go in with 1 egg yolk. We're gonna start whisking this up. I'm gonna go in with 1 teaspoon of mustard. You wanna add about half a pint of oil. If you add it too quick, it will split, trust me.
After the mild oil, start to add some good punchy extra virgin olive oil to perk it up. And whatever you do, keep whisking.
But when you start doing this, you will go through the threshold of pain, and you can hold it differently and go for more of a shoulder whisk, right? And you'll get knackered again, and then you go for more, a little wrist action. Shoulder, wrist.
Now squeeze in some lemon juice, add a splash of good quality vinegar, and then season to taste. But there's a secret bit. I've got a little trick to make this mayo stand out from the crowd.
Basil. What I want to do is get the essence of basil, okay? So I'm just going to rip it up, a good pinch of salt, and bash it up. I'll put a little bit of oil in there, and then I need to sieve all those bits out. We'll squeeze all the goodness out of it. I'm just making the effort of getting rid of all the stalks, because normally I'm a bit lazy. Bash it up, smash it up, big flavour, get it in. Ooh, I don't mind all that. Ooh, pork chop. But we ain't in that place today. I just did an impression of myself, and it was bang on. OK, back to this mayonnaise. And look at the change of colour. Beautiful, pastel-y green mayonnaise.
Homemade basil mayo, nice. Now back to the fish. It's had 40 minutes, so test it with a knife.
Hold it up to your lip. If it's kind of warm, and I mean sort of like cup of tea out for 10 minutes sort of warm, beautiful. You don't want it hot, because that means you've overcooked it.
Then leave the fish to continue gently cooking in its own salt cave for another 30 minutes. Time for a killer salsa.
You've guessed it, I know, chili.
The punchy kick of the chili will work beautifully with the fresh mint.
Kind of almost equal quantities, look. Yin and yang.
Wow, 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 wow. Hit it with vinegar and olive oil and season.
Have a little taste. Woohoo! Yeah! That's what it does to you.
Now, when it comes to serving up, this meal really makes an entrance.
What's for dinner? Fish and salt? Sorry, what? You go fish and salt, and you just go, and everyone's like, what's going on? And then you start dismantling this cocoon, and everyone's freaked out, and then you start peeling back the skin, and everyone's like, ah! And then you just start portioning up, and everyone's like, ooh. Anyway, moving on. The herbs here have stopped any salt getting inside, and then just peel that skin back. Absolutely amazing. And just look at that.
By cooking it in the salt, all the moisture has been sealed inside. It really is the juiciest fish you'll ever have.
Absolutely gorgeous. Basil mayo, taking it to the next level. And then our chili oil. That little bit of, you know, every party's got to have someone that's a little bit uncouth. Do you know what I mean? A few dirty jokes. And this is our friend here. You don't want him everywhere, but just on a little corner of the table next to your mother-in-law is good. And that, my friends, is fish cooked in salt with a badass ninja mayo. Run your fingers down there. You don't even need to use any apparatus. You just pull it, flake, flake, flake. Can you see how it's just blushing in the middle? That's totally cooked. So a little kiss of lemon juice.
A blush of someone and a kiss. Are these your own collective nouns?
I'm so excited! This is when we were kids.
No, I love it. It's
honestly,
so
he was stuffing animals and I was cooking food.
Are you one of those people that eats the head? I had a boyfriend who ate the eyeballs, everything, just properly went for it.
You, thank you very much. There we go.
The fish is so soft and delicate, it's a winner every single time. Cook this at the weekend and I guarantee you it will blow your friends and family away.
Oh my God, it really melts, isn't it? Eating and cooking all day, my day of heaven.
There are more weekend feasts to come, including today's special. Hollywood star Sienna Miller is cooking her favourite Italian dish.
What are we cooking?
We are going to cook an amazing duck ragu with peachy pasta, which is this, from this amazing region of Tuscany. I'm so excited because I am the biggest bolognese person in the world, and this,
Do you like a ragu?
Yeah, a
So
ragu.
what was it about this dish that kind of got you?
It was just kind of more richer and more meaty and more tasty than normal bolognese.
Whereabouts was it?
Near Montepulciano, a place called Valdorcia.
I've been on the phone to chefs in that exact area. I know chefs in that exact area. And I've got this recipe that I'm going to show you today. And I've got all the tips, the authentic bits. We're going to make the pasta, the peachy pasta anyone at home could make. It doesn't require any gadgets. It's really unusual. It's the only pasta in the world that has salt in the recipe, not in the water. And you just roll them out by hand. It's going to be superb. And if you like bolognese, just like you said, it's just, it's going some.
Amazing.
Here at our cafe in Southend, we're serving up a menu full of treats for the weekend.
Today, Sienna Miller is cooking her favourite Italian dish, duck ragu with peachy pasta.
Welcome to the cafe.
Thank you.
You are going to have a proper cookery lesson now on a dish that you love.
Sienna first ate this dish in Valdorcia in Tuscany, so I've spoken to chefs in the area to get the real deal authentic recipe.
I'm taking an unusual start to this ragu. You know, with a normal bolognese, you start with a mincemeat in the pan and all that sort of business. OK, let me just dive over here. Duck, a little bit of a massage up. You're going to slap it in the oven, and that's all we do. Zero effort.
Wow.
After 2 hours, at about 180 degrees.
It's a long time.
Yeah, but you can go down the pub, you can go for a walk.
I just meant like for it not,
You can go foraging for mushrooms.
Foraging a week, yeah.
But if you just touch the skin there, Sienna,
Oh.
super crispy. The tips are going to start pouring on top of you now. First up, do you mind putting on a little bit of rubber for Mr. Oliver?
Are you joking?
No.
I would love to put on rubber for you, Jamie.
It's not the whole outfit, but it's just the gloves.
It's a tease. It's enough of a...
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I'm 2 in 1 there.
Oh, OK. Nothing worse than that. Just rip that skin off, throw just the skin in there.
Oh, right.
Before we even get into the ragu, I'm going to give you one of the best things in the whole wide world. It's called pangratata. And this was something when the really poor people couldn't afford Parmesan, right? And they wanted that salty little hit and a change of texture. They would fry up breadcrumbs and flavour it with rosemary, sage and garlic. We're going to do a supercharged version of that with crackling.
Oh.
So we're going to whiz it up.
Cook the pangratata in a drizzle of olive oil until it's crunchy and golden.
Oh, my God, I cannot wait.
Next, the duck ragu.
So, in this pan are 2 onions,
Yeah.
1 celery,
Yeah.
4 cloves of garlic, just finely chopped, okay? And these have been sweating off in some olive oil for about 15 minutes. We've got 1 glass of lovely Tuscan red wine.
Yeah. And meat, just start pulling that off?
Start pulling the meat off the bone. Every last ounce
Yeah.
can go. Now, there's a word in Italy called agrodolce. It means sweet and sour. And many countries have this scenario. And for thousands of years, people know that honey or acid, citrus fruit or vinegar, yeah, they fight together in a beautiful way.
Yeah.
Okay? So I'm going to put in some raisins. They're going to cook away to nothing.
That'd be delicious, no?
This is just like a form
That's amazing.
That's a form of natural sweetness. Now, see these sticky bits? Whatever you do, don't throw that away. I'm going to just put a little bit of red wine in here, and if you can just sort of scrape that off.
One for you, one for me.
Yes, actually, that's a good idea. I'm looking to serve you a little bit of red wine, and all I can see is half-pint mugs, so I'm like, actually, sod it, it's Sienna Miller, she don't mind, I know.
Have a pint.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming for our camp.
I love it, I want to move in.
Right, chuck in the meat. So what we're going to do now is pull this together. In with the tin tomatoes, and there's always bits of leftover, so I'm going to have a little bit of water. That is your basic sauce. Another little tip. So how many times have you bought a packet of Parmesan, regardless of the size, and then you kind of get to the end of it, just like I am now, and you end up with this?
Boring old rind.
OK? But instead of throwing it in the bin, we put it in here. It's kind of like incredible, sort of gnarly, cheesy salt. Leaches out.
I put that in my soup, in ribollita.
The rind?
Yeah.
Oh,
delicious.
I've given you a tip that you always had. I'm just underwhelmed myself.
Yeah, watch out.
You are so forward, Miller.
Pancake
tart's going. The sauce is done. So we're looking good here, babe.
This is going to be amazing.
While Sienna cracks on to the kitchen, it's time to find out more about the next dish on the menu. A regional tea time treat that's all but disappeared. Can our food fight bring it back?
Each week, Jimmy and I want to save some of Britain's best regional foods that are in danger of disappearing. So, Jimmy, you're going to love this one. We are off to Lancashire.
Love Lancashire.
To meet a real living squire, a lord of the manor, Mr. Harold Ellison. And he wants to bring back the tosset cake that used to be eaten all around this little area. And it was a really delicious sort of spiced shortbread. Since the 14th century, the tosset cake was a prized Lancashire treat, full of butter, spices and sugar, a truly great British biscuit. I like biscuit on its own. Yeah. I like biscuit with tea.
Tea and
I like biscuit smashed up with ice cream.
You like biscuit in bed, which I don't like because it makes crumbs.
But during the First World War, the tosset cake disappeared when butter and sugar were rationed, and it hasn't been manufactured since. Local lord of the manor and tosset lover Harold of Parrots Hall has asked for our help to bring it back.
What do we call him, though?
Milad?
Milord?
Milord?
What are you going to say? Are you going to curtsy?
Oh, just Harold.
Harold.
Get on a knee and kiss his hand.
You kiss his hand, and I'll shake his knee. Nice. Ah, Harold.
Hello, Harold.
For Harold, the tosset cake was a real Lancashire treasure and deserves to be back on the map.
Now I remember, I had them when I was a boy, but that was from a very old lady who was a cook here who still knew the recipe.
Have you got that recipe here?
We have a recipe.
But before we get baking, we can't resist a snoop around his gaff.
Who are these two young chicks?
Well, that's my great-grandmother.
Oh, sorry, don't mean to be
there.
disrespectful.
This one, and that's her first cousin who married a man called Lord Ashton.
Oh, so these are all family?
These are all family,
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
History of art was never my thing, but I do love an old recipe. Butter, sugar, caraway, coriander seeds. Back in the day, it would have all been luxurious ingredients.
Which indicates it's a cake for special occasions. So it's quite a simple recipe, though, isn't it?
Very. 500 grams of plain flour, 500 grams of butter, 2 packs of butter, 150 grams of just caster sugar, but it probably would have been a less refined sugar back in the day, I imagine. And then a heaped teaspoon of caraway and coriander seeds.
Let me show you the spice hole.
Your what?
The spice hole cupboard.
That's not like some sort of club you go to on a Friday night, is it, the spice hole?
Well, there we are. So this is where people would have kept their spices and salt, and basically they're the most precious things.
Coriander and caraway were introduced to the UK by the Romans, and by the Middle Ages were highly prized as being spices of good health and good luck.
The wonderful thing about coriander, it does have the capacity to go sweet or savoury, and the caraway has that slight anise sort of aniseedy sort of ness, but it's very subtle, a lot more sort of tea-like. Here we go.
This is the first time.
40 years.
At least. Fantastic.
Is it
Yeah.
the memory?
Yeah.
That flavour?
Flooding back.
This is an elite digestive biscuit. This is like the ultimate tea and biscuit. But look, we've only been here 5 seconds. We've eaten so many biscuits.
They are delicious. They are absolutely
They're
delicious.
so light and so delicious and such a pleasure to make.
Back in the day, there was an annual event known as the Tosset Feast. This could be the perfect way to relaunch the biscuit to the locals and even supermarkets.
For centuries, locals from all the villages in the area would gather here at Parrots Hall for a day of feasting and fun. Crucially, everyone baked tosset cakes for the event.
What kind of event was it?
It would have been hundreds of people with all sorts of things going on, like wrestling and dancing and, you know, different stalls and people cooking things. Even a bear, I think. They had a dancing bear.
Dancing bear, wrestling, country
That's what we've got
dancing.
an account
That's us all over.
I can do the dancing
That's
bear.
a Saturday night for us, isn't it? But the key element of it was the tosset cake.
And I heard that everyone that came brought baked biscuits.
Yeah.
Right.
This is like the once a year occasion where everybody chucks everything in and has a big celebration.
To bring back the Tosset Feast, we need locals to bake the Tosset cakes. So Jimmy's off to rally the troops.
First stop, the Coast Guard.
Tosset cakes, have you heard of them?
Vaguely.
Right. Ever made them?
No.
OK. We want to invite you guys and all your colleagues to come to the school hall. We want to show you how to make a tosset cake and hopefully get the whole community together.
Brilliant.
Then the local mums.
Would you be up for coming along and having a lesson how to make tosset cake?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And of course, Queens of Cake, the WI.
You up for it?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Time to get baking.
We're here!
Hello.
Ah, you've brought the community!
Right,
Oh my
guys,
God.
grab some tables.
Where'd you get them all from?
Everywhere.
I'm going to teach everyone the recipe so they can bring along masses of Tosset cakes for the feast tomorrow.
We're all here for the tosset cake. You've got WI, you've got, you are a teacher of home economics, aren't you? But have you ever met before?
No.
Well, it's getting the community together, isn't it? There, lovely.
I cover it with my hands and give it a good old banging.
You've mixed your sugar up with your spices, where really that caraway seed mix should be in there. Oh dear.
Spices straight in with the flour and the butter and have a nice little knead up, but not too much.
This lot have done a cracking job, but we want them to spread the word and get the whole community baking.
You guys are our ambassadors, OK? When you go home tonight, I want you to ring your friends. I want you to tell them about this. Get them to make some. And we see you all tomorrow at the hall for the great Tosset Feast.
All right, guys, you did a great job. See you tomorrow. Bye!
That's the first part of the plan to get this great British biscuit back to the people. And of course, we've got some for the cafe to taste too.
Right, who would like a Tosset cake? Yes, take one of those. Beautiful, light, crumbly.
Shortbready, aren't they?
They are.
They're really, really
aren't
flaky. Oh my God.
Light, crumbly.
Crumbly like a shortbread, but better.
Yeah.
Buttery.
Yes.
Cup of tea, that.
Touches the taste buds that haven't been maybe tickled for a while.
Speak for yourself, Jay.
Yeah. What do you think?
Absolutely gorgeous.
It's a big thumbs up for the Tosset cake. Just goes to show how important it is to look beyond the average supermarket shelves and hold on to our heritage foods.
Here at the cafe, we're cooking up weekend feasts, perfect to share with friends and family.
So far, our diners have devoured Jamie's fish and salt and enjoyed some unique British biscuits. But now it's back to Sienna Miller's Tuscan duck ragu.
The sauce is bubbling away. Next job, the pasta.
OK, Sienna, we're going to make peachy. It's a really nice one for people to make at home because it doesn't involve a hand crank.
Yeah.
We're going to put 700 grams of flour to make a well in the middle. This is 300 grams of semolina. In this particular area, They love to mix semolina because it gives it more flavour, more colour, a little bit more body. You can buy this in the supermarket, by the way, and semolina, you know it when we were kids at school.
Yeah, delicious.
Semolina.
I loved it.
Little bit of like hot jam in the middle.
Yeah, lovely.
From Gwenda, the dinner lady.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm doing this accent.
I don't know, because that's what they're taught at German.
Yeah, they do in Essex anyway. I'm going to crack 2 eggs into here.
It's such a chef thing that like I can do it one-handed.
Go on,
I always
go on,
don't know I can't. I always end up
Try
with
it,
shell.
try it.
I can't do it. Oh.
Yeah, you see?
No,
Come on.
No shell in there. There's a little bit.
And then we're going to add, let's say, about 100 mils of water. And then what you're going to do now, Sienna, is start using the fork to bring in some of that semolina. When it gets too hard, fork goes down, the hands come out. And then what I'm really looking for is a clean surface in about 2 minutes.
Okay.
So.
No pressure. Trying to look like I know what I'm doing, but
do you ever make pastry and tarts and cakes?
No, I do make cakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm.
What's your pièce de résistance?
Well, I've actually just got a really easy Victoria sponge recipe.
Nice. You're doing good.
Am I?
So we'll cover that, and we'll just leave it for half an hour, and that kind of, see how I'm moving it now, and it kind of is moving. That will stop. So it's going to look like this. What we're going to do is just roll it out to about just under 1 centimetre thick.
Yeah.
Then we can use a cutter. Keep your thumb out of the way. Keep that thumb out of the way.
Ah.
We're not that.
It's such
we're
good
insured,
telly,
but
though.
mate, if I cut off Sienna Miller's finger, do you know what I mean? The next film she's in, it's like, oh, the bells, the bells. Nice. That's perfect. We're going to grab this, and we're going to roll it out here, and we're going to make peachy. It's basically you're reenacting your childhood when you're making worms out of Play-Doh.
Yeah.
And do you remember when you used to make worms into Play-Doh, then you'd roll them up like that to be a snail?
Yeah. Very versatile.
Or you kind of go like that to make it look like a penis, and then
I saw an octopus, but
oh, yeah. Actually, what's more like
the difference between you and me, Chick. It was, I don't know what your penis looks like. I hope it doesn't look like that.
My penis looks like an octopus. This takes about 6 minutes to cook, and then we're going to get back to this sauce. So, our ragu here has come to a beautiful place. At this stage, you know, we're sort of in Tuscany, so they're still using butter. A knob of butter goes in. Go in with about 3 tablespoons of good extra virgin olive oil. Kerry-Ann, pass in a little bit of Parmesan. Just grab a handful and pop it in there. And we're going to link all of those flavours together. So now we're just going to love it at the end.
You just want that in your fridge all the time, just to tuck into, don't you?
OK, you're going to have to cook for all these people. Are you guys hungry? Yeah. Let me show you one portion, and then the pressure is all on you.
All right, I won't let you down.
This has been cooking for about 5 minutes now. We're going to go in with residual water. We're going to go in with our pasta sauce, and we'll start to just shake it, then pull it off like that. Rich, rustic, roasted duck, peachy. But don't forget, we have got our pan grattata. And that's where we just get this incredible, lovely, garlicky, crunchy, crispy sort of duck skin, you know, breadcrumbs. I don't know how the Italians say it's naughty, but basically, this is naughty.
Here we go. Moment of truth. It's that I want, that crunchy topping. Oh my God.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh my God.
It's ridiculous.
Do you want to try it?
Yes, please.
It is seriously good. It is, isn't it? Especially wintry, cosy. Oh my God.
While Sienna cracks on cooking for the calf, I want to show you how to make the next Friday night feast on the menu. The best roast pork and crackling you'll ever taste. A hog roast has become the party dish of choice. But the juicy pork and exceptional crackling has been beyond the reach of the home cook until now. You don't need to hire any fancy equipment. I'm going to show you how to build your own DIY hog roaster in an afternoon. Sunday lunch is never going to be the same again. First up, you're going to need a packing crate, some aluminium sheets and an old metal tray. All these materials are available online and the whole build cost under £130.
Here it is, packing crate. They're easy to pick up. very, very cheap. You can even make your own wooden box.
This technique is a brilliant way of roasting meat, whether it's a whole pig for 100 people or a shoulder of pork for 20.
There we are, look at that. Mobile. Perfect. I love the idea. Guests are sitting in the garden waiting, and you just wheel this box around, they think you're nuts. And then you open it up, there's just the best crackling in the world. I need to line it with aluminium sheets, and you can get these now cut to order, and this is just going to fit in here like that, the whole way round, completely covered in aluminium. Simple box, but science is at play. There's convection, the movement of the hot air, and you've got radiation, the heat from above radiating down, bouncing off of everything. That's why it cooks so quickly. You get a lovely, even temperature. It might seem like a bit of faffing about, but let me tell you, go a long way for a good bit of crackling. Now, in a mechanic's workshop, they have stuff to put under cars and trucks, which is this, the drip tray.
The sturdy lid will hold a layer of hot coals that will heat the box from above, like an upside-down barbecue. It's a clever way to keep all the juices inside and create amazing crackling.
Now, we do lots of hog roasts. You have weddings, people hire hog roasts, and they are expensive. But this, if it works, is a really affordable way to cook a whole pig in 4 hours.
Once built, my portable hog roaster can be used time and time again. All I need now is the meat. I'm going the whole hog, literally. Order a pig or a shoulder of pork from your butcher and get him to butterfly it for you. Next, a marinade injector. They cost around 10 quid online. It gets the zesty orange and lime marinade deep into the meat to keep it juicy while it cooks. Then rub salt, lemon and herbs into the skin. Lay it into the box, skin side down.
There we go, lovely job. Cheers, Shannon.
Add a good layer of charcoal and fire it up.
As the coals burn white and burn through, every hour, more coals on. And in about 4 hours' time, that lovely little succulent pig should be perfectly cooked.
That's it. So easy. And if you were doing a Sunday roast, you could even cook your veg inside too.
Oh, come on, look at that.
With the tray in the bottom to catch the juices, flip the pig over so it's skin side up.
Get that swine back in the box.
This is the secret to the ultimate crackling. Because the pig was butterflied, all the skin is now under the direct heat of the coals.
So now it's lying on its front. All that lovely skin is going to crackle up. This is unique. It's like Christmas. It's a box, it's a present. You open it up, there's a wonderful cooked pig inside. Can't wait to taste it. Check out my porker.
Oh, my lordy lord.
Look at that.
I mean,
Gorgeous.
look at this.
Go on, rip it. Oh. Look at the belly. Let me cut down here. Listen, listen, listen. Can I give you a lovely bit of crackling?
Yes.
That is literally my idea
You
of
just
heaven.
given her the leg and the bum.
Don't worry about
Give
that.
me a bum.
Juicy. We're going to feed you up, girl.
Nice.
The next piece you do on TV, you're going to have to be a bloater. But the thing I love about pigs is that you get a pig like this and it's about feasting. It's about friends, family, good times.
Wow. There's just nothing quite like it. Wow, do you want a bit of that?
Oh, I nearly bit your finger. Do you want some of this stuff, guys? Yeah. Right, Sienna, we're ready, Tiger.
All right. Oh, nice one, mate.
Go on, Sienna. She's like a cave woman. Go on, Sienna.
Come on, don't be shy. Get the crackling, that's the best bit. Wait, this lady here, she looks starving.
The calf are hoovering up my pulled pork. Because it's cooked in a box, the meat doesn't take on any smoke, so it's sweet and tender.
Jimmy, look at this devastation. Sucking on bones, bit of greasy old pork.
Look at my fingers.
What is like my best day out in the whole wide world?
Isn't it just?
I know, and Sienna, she loves it.
I love it.
Guys, did you like that pork? Yeah. So good, Jim.
Here in Southend, the calf is packed. Our menu is full of dishes perfect for weekend feasts. So while Sienna's busy with a hand-rolled peachy pasta,
It's quite time-consuming, this homemade pastering, isn't it?
Well, when you're making it for 26 people.
Yeah.
we're continuing our food fight. Can we revive forgotten regional biscuit, the tosset cake?
Hello, ladies. We have Tosset biscuit making and Paratour, 2 p.m. Come along, don't be late.
We're giving the kiss of life to Lancashire's tosset cake.
This is an elite digestive biscuit.
A delicious buttery biscuit rich in sugar and spice. It was once the biscuit of the area. But wartime rationing led to its disappearance.
I cover it in my hands and give it a good old banging.
We've taught the locals how to make it again.
Spices straight in with the flour and the butter and have a nice little knead up, but not too much.
Now we want to bring back the biscuit with a bang.
For centuries, everyone round here baked these biscuits for an annual event called the Tosset Feast.
The whole community, many villages would come together. It was almost as big as Christmas.
To really get the Tosset cake back on the map, we're going to hold the first Tosset Feast in 100 years.
The feast was originally held here at Parrots Hall, so the whole community has been invited, thanks to Lord of the Manor, Harold.
It's going very well. We've got an amazing turnout. It's fantastic. It really seems to have struck a chord with people.
And you can barely move for Tosset cakes. Loads of people have baked them.
Who's been baking, Freddie? Mummy.
I'm helping kids decorate them.
Basically, there's no rules. You've got to make the most beautiful tosset cake in the world.
We're serving them crushed on ice cream, and people are tucking into tossets left, right and centre.
Have a bite of the tosset cake. You like them, don't you? You've eaten 4.
It's lovely, it's really nice.
We couldn't have hoped for better. A humble biscuit bringing together a community for a day of food and fun. In the feast's heyday, it was a right old knees up, with food stalls, music, wrestling and races. So that's what we've got. And even a dancing bear.
It's great to see the local community coming together, bringing old traditions back to the county.
Victorious! That was a fair win.
It might have been a century since the last Tosset Feast, but it seems that the locals of all ages are loving it.
People identify with food, and in different parts of Europe you see that people have festivals to celebrate food, and I think that's what we're creating here, because clearly people really like it.
To bring everyone here, and every little group could be producing these little tosset cakes. Oh, like a wonderful village fete, isn't it?
But you can't have a village fete without a competition tent. Everyone's been baking, so we're holding a contest for the best biscuit, and the competition is fierce.
Let's have a look. Oh, nice. They're very consistent. They're all the same size. They're not burnt. They taste delicious.
You're a baker?
I am a baker.
Have you put them in the competition?
I have put some in the competition.
Good, good.
I feel like I'm cheating a bit though, but the WI have got stiff competition,
WI,
so I don't really feel like we're cheating.
There's another bakery here, but also some of the students, some of the football players,
Yeah, so it's not
some of
so
the Coast Guard have made some mean tosset cakes.
We've even lined up a panel of judges. Lord of the Manor, Harold, the local vicar, Father Sean, and boss of a regional supermarket chain, Edwin Booth. He runs 29 stores in the Lancashire area and knows a good local product when he sees one.
We're looking for texture, we're looking for flavour. It shouldn't be too coloured, so if it has got too much colour, that is a lack of heat control.
This is a celebration of this wonderful biscuit, so thank you very much, gentlemen, and good luck. John, should we leave them to it?
I might
no,
to judge.
No, it's this.
Oh, I'm not even in my own judging.
No.
Okay, bless you.
Come away.
I'm sorry.
That's why we've got judges.
That's an almost cakey texture. It's lovely, isn't it?
To wash down all the tossets, I've cooked up a 17th century spicy beetroot and grape juice cordial from one of Harold's ancestors' recipe books.
Hello, would you like some cordial?
Jimmy, will you tell this lovely lady what's in your cordial?
It's diluted. You are diluting it, aren't you, John?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Is it stripping the back of your mouth off?
Is it really sweet? You've got to have that with water in.
I've only poisoned 2 people so far.
Here we are.
Why is everything going wrong for me today?
Don't worry.
That actually tastes a bit underbaked.
With the judges still deliberating, we better entertain the troops.
At least the judges have made up their minds. Time to hear who's baked the best biscuit.
Drum roll, please, sir.
And the winner is Simon Hall.
Simon Hall, come on
Come
down.
forward.
Simon Hall receives his gold.
Now, hands up if you made tosset cakes today. Hands up who's going to make tosset cakes next year.
Yeah, come on now! Swing that chain! Come on, King!
I think it's safe to say that the people round here have fully embraced their tosset cake and its feast.
Lovely people, lovely cake.
Lovely.
I'm so proud of this, Jim. Hopefully this is just the beginning. Fingers crossed, the tosset cake is back in business.
What has happened with the feast? Are you going to do it every year?
Yeah, we are, definitely. We're going to make it an annual event. It's going to take place on the 9th of August.
Brilliant, because we had a ball, didn't we?
Yeah, it was really, really good fun, and it's nice to sort of take such an old biscuit, and it is a great biscuit, but bring it back, you know, to life.
But it doesn't stop there. The regional supermarket chain has taken a real shine to the tosset cake too.
And you are the head buyer for Booths when it comes to biscuits.
I'm the biscuit man.
You are the
And
biscuit man.
I can say genuinely that's one of the best biscuits I've ever tried. I really do think if we can get that product into store in front of our customers, they would genuinely buy it. It's a nice eat, it delivers well, and I think it's got a great story behind it. So it's
It's
perfect.
proper local food, and obviously
Proper
a local
food,
supermarket
baked
as well.
locally.
Beats the hell out of shortbread as well.
Doesn't it?
What a beautiful thing.
Perfect with a cup of tea.
So, ladies and gents, the tosset cake is back with us.
The tosset!
How's Sienna getting on?
Oh, Sienna!
It's the moment of truth for Sienna and her favourite Tuscan dish, duck ragu with peachy pasta. But will she impress the calf diners?
Jamie, I put too much water in.
How are we
It's
doing?
a bit too watery.
That's all right, that's all right.
It's not.
Okay,
It's like
so if
swimming in it.
No, it's okay. What we do is we put it back in,
Yeah.
put it over a heat.
It'll start absorbing it.
It will. So if it's too wet, you can just pop it on and it will just take it in. Okay, can I give you a tossing lesson?
Yes.
Okay, so we have
Yes, please.
always choose
Yeah.
a rounded side implement and you just put it down and flick it back. Without looking like a pervy old tennis instructor, can I do it with you?
Yeah.
And I apologise to your husband.
Boyfriend.
Okay, boyfriend, sorry. Pull your finger out with, you're all right.
Right.
That's what you want. Down and back, down and back.
I'm going to end up with this all in my face, aren't I?
You know, it's got, yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, let's see.
That's beautiful. Now onto there. Hold it up higher. Okay, and that's much better.
Got it.
And a
More
little-
of this.
Yeah, go for it. Beautiful, and a bit of parmesan. And Bob is your uncle, and Sheila Allen is your aunt.
Ready to serve up?
We are 2 minutes.
They are
away.
starving out there.
I know.
Chef.
Now listen, Sienna, I've got to ask you something. I heard this rumour. Did you once use tomato ketchup to dye your hair?
No, well, I dyed my hair brown with henna and it went green. And the only thing that would get the green out was ketchup.
You are joking.
So I had to sit with ketchup on my hair for about a year, on and off. And it works. The acid in the tomato works.
There you are, true
Yeah.
foodie. Now stop talking and get that food out.
All right.
What's your waitressing skills like?
Actually, really pretty good. I was
Have
a
you
waitress.
been an actress before?
An actress?
Sorry, a
Barely.
waitress.
I got fired from my waitering job.
Did you have one?
A punter pinched my bum and I poured the pasta on his lap. Do you want some?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Wow, that does look amazing. Sienna, you've done a cracking job.
Thank you.
Listen, Sienna, are you going to do this when you get home?
No, I'm all right. Once is enough. Yes, I'm going to live off this.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sienna's ragu.
Sienna's hand-rolled pasta and rich duck ragu is a definite hit.
Our menu of feasts for the weekend has gone down a storm.
I served up a whole fish baked in salt.
I roasted a whole pig in a box.
And we've revived the Great British Biscuit. We hope you're inspired to get busy this weekend. Next time on Friday Night Feast, I'm reinventing the roast chicken. You put that out on a Sunday roast table, everyone's gonna go, blah, 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 what? Jimmy's making a dirty doner into a thing of beauty.
Check it out! Homemade doner kebab in an oil barrel.
And Amanda Holden is getting very saucy in the kitchen.
Well, it's like, it is a bit like a bottom, I think. Like quite a firm butter.
My mate Jimmy is my oldest mucker, and we've known each other forever.
Josie, Oliver, stop running in the corridors.
And ever since we were kids, we've always been really passionate about great food.
So we've opened up our very own pop-up cafe here on the end of Southend Pier. Who's up for a pie? I'll stick one down here.
To share great food and good times with lots of lovely people.
Are you guys hungry? Yeah! This series, it's all about feasts for the weekend.
Oh, that is so good.
I've got show-stopping recipes that will blow your friends and family away. Guys, this is a blowout meal, something special for the weekend. This is for people you love.
I'll show you how to cook great food you wouldn't normally try at home.
Check it out!
With some DIY food builds you can try this weekend.
Cooking on the side of a flower pot inside a dustbin. You've got to try this.
We couldn't have a food show without a food fight. We want to save some of the nation's best regional foods from extinction. We are kind of bringing something that's almost forgotten back to life.
And back at the cafe, some special friends are dropping by to help out in the kitchen.
Get in!
What do you think?
Gorgeous.
I love it. Oh my God.
Service! The weekends are for feasting. Thank food it's Friday. It's going to be really, really good. You're going to love it. On today's menu, we'll be transforming the great roast chicken into an absolute showstopper. When you put that out on a Sunday roast table, everyone's going to go, blah, 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 what?
I'll be making a DIY doner kebab.
Check it out!
And we're tucking into a delicious cake from Surrey that's been forgotten by the locals. You have your opportunity to keep this beautiful tart alive. So, don't lose it to a pan au chocolat.
I'll get these teas out, shall I?
Yes, me old mate.
Right, who wants a cup of tea?
And lending a hand in the cafe is my old student, Kerry Ann.
You've got to put the milk first, boys.
You don't put in the milk
You
first.
do, unless you're making it of a tea bag.
We've got a menu full of amazing feasts for you to try this weekend.
And helping in the kitchen is one very special, seriously talented friend.
Oh, look who it is.
Ah, Amanda Holden's in the cafe. Thank you for coming a mile out to sea.
There we are, let me take that for
Here's
you.
a cup of coffee.
It is horrible out there.
It is terrible weather, Southend Pier though.
I know, is this where you're from?
Yes, I was.
You conceived on this pier?
I was, I'm glad you knew.
Now look over here. Pictures. Do you recognise any of these pictures?
I mean, I could kill my mother.
Where's the Santa Claus
Amanda,
one?
that's proper, that's like really cute.
I must say, you look hot in that.
My mum had, her life's ambition was to have a guest house, like a small B&B. And at Christmas, my mum, to entertain the guests that we had, made us dress up. Like that.
But it was about hospitality, it's about feeding people on holidays.
Yeah, and she did really, really well.
That's a lot of hard work as well, isn't it? Working in the kitchen.
Knackering, and we did it all between us. We didn't have any
So did you
staff.
grow up then with sort of nice food?
We didn't have much money when we were kids, and I could open a fridge and there'd be nothing in it, and my mum would make something out of it. She used to have mince
and make mince into everything. She even had one of those machines that made it into mince. I remember all the worms coming out. It was like Sweeney Todd in our house. I don't know who went through that mince.
So what was your favourite dish then? When
I was little, probably just like a chicken roast dinner.
Right, how about if I took the roast chicken and completely changed it and did something different to elevate the great roast chicken to new heights?
Oh.
Sounds good.
First up on our Friday night feast menu, my ultimate roast chicken. But before I serve it up to the calf, let me show you how to do it at home. OK, guys, roast chicken. It's one of the most phenomenal, comforting, gorgeous meals, and we all love it. Why don't we learn to take it up to the next level? I'm going to show you not one, but 2 ways to reinvent your Sunday roast. Mix it up and create something surprising this weekend. First, a show-off bird that demands your attention. Super tender with awesome finger-licking flavours. This is beer butt chicken. Yes, beer in butt of chicken. Beautiful. This method of cooking chicken was kind of American-based. It was based around the barbecue, but also it's kind of cowboy, so First, you need a dry rub, made with smoked paprika and cayenne pepper, then fennel seeds, coriander seeds, and just a touch of cumin. Finally, some dried chilies, brown sugar, salt and pepper, and whiz up. Have a little taste. Rubs are always going to be super intense, but try and use your brain anyway. Am I getting sugar? Am I getting some lightness from the fennel seeds? Do I want more savouriness, you know, from oregano or coriander seeds and stuff like that? So you can kind of tweak it to your liking. I want to rub it with oil, getting all the cracks and crannies, and then in with the rub, but I want to get it to stick to every part of it. Create what the barbecue boys would call a bark, okay? Which means like a kind of layer of flavour. It's gonna kind of protect the chicken. It's also gonna absorb into the kind of frying, cooking, roasting fat. And it's also just gonna give that outside layer of chicken just a smash of flavour. This dish has got to have attitude. Next, it's time to raise the bar with a rather unusual way of keeping our chicken lovely and moist. The beer up the jacksie. Now, this is something I've wanted to do for a long time, and I'm referring to the chicken right now. OK, so I've got about an inch left in there, the most exciting bit. We find ourselves a roasting tray, we find ourselves an orifice, and then we ease it down. That beer can is there for a reason. It will keep the chicken super moist and infuse it with a light beery flavour as it cooks in the oven at 200 degrees for an hour and 20 minutes. Baste it with good quality barbecue sauce 10 minutes before the end. While that cooks away, I want to show you another way to reinvent the roast with show-stopping bird number 2, chicken in crust. Why? Why would you put chicken in a crust? To keep in all the flavour. So, really simple, couple of kilos of flour. This is like blowout. This is the weekend. This is taking it to the next level. Mix up the basic pastry dough by adding water and a pinch of salt. This pastry crust is going to seal in the chicken, keeping it super juicy and tender. And when you serve it up, I guarantee it will look nothing like your guests have ever seen. Next, this is a weekend blowout feast, so I want to up the ante with an intense flavoured butter for my chicken. I'm pulling out all the stops. So I've got some gorgeous Girol mushrooms sizzling in some olive oil, butter and garlic. You know, you can hit it up with some lovely kind of woody mushroom herbs. Thyme, gorgeous. Marjoram, lovely, right? I want to pump up the flavour with dried mushrooms, any dried mushrooms. Some are expensive, some are cheap. Here's some porcini. You just go straight over with some boiling water from a kettle, just cover it. The flavour that will come out of there is ridiculous. Notice that the dried mushrooms now are limp and soft, even in a matter of a minute. So go in with the dried mushroom. Look at the colour of that water, OK? It's like Bovril. This is serious stuff. Leave those rich flavours to reduce and intensify. Time to prep the chicken. I'm going to use a spatula.
and we're going to get that under the skin. So grab this little piece of skin here, use your finger to separate the skin from the breast meat. Once you've got a couple of fingers in there, go in with this spatula.
Once you've created the pockets under the skin, chop the cooked mushrooms with some chopped parsley and a teaspoon of truffle oil. Then simply squodge in a pack of butter.
This flavoured butter, just ridiculous. Get it into little holes, carefully push it down into the chicken. Look at that, you've got flavour going all down that breast there. That's serious flavour. Now we're ready to put it in pastry. You want it to be about 1 centimetre thick. Then just going to take a nice little cut at the top here. OK, so we've got 2 bits, a larger piece for the bottom into the tray.
Tie it up nice and tight so it will stay put once inside the pastry.
Now we're ready and raring to go. We're going to put that second bit of dough over the bird like this. Tuck her into bed. Then we can cut off the excess and we're ready to crimp it at the edge. We're keeping the humidity in, we're keeping the flavour in. It's all staying in. The whole theory of it is just amplifying flavour, and it's dramatic. And when you put that out on a Sunday roast table, everyone's going to go, what? What's that? Alien that's just landed on planet Earth?
Put in the oven for an hour and a half at 180 degrees Celsius. Now the beer butt chicken.
Here he is. Shiny, gorgeous, finger-licking good.
Roasted in all of those beautiful, awesome spices. That is mega flavour.
Just finish it with shredded spring onion, some coriander, a little bit of chilli, and that will be absolutely incredible.
Then the chicken in a crust.
It is something very, very special. Get in there, find the biggest knife you can find, get a cleaver, get a spade, right? Cut around the outside. Oh, chicken.
And when you slice into it, you'll see exactly what happens.
When have you ever seen chicken like that? Completely and utterly beautiful and tender and gorgeous. That lovely flavour under the skin. It's just ridiculoso. So guys, that's amazing chicken dishes that will blow your mind and completely reinvent the norm.
Oh, it's lovely and warm. Oh, oh.
Look at this, guys.
I love it moist.
Right, here we go. Now, Amanda, you are a lovely girl. Can you handle this big boy?
I can handle it. You should see my husband.
Serve with mash and veg, and you've got 2 great ways to reinvent your roast.
Right, I'm going to give this to a big table. You look starving on that table. He always makes it look so delicious, doesn't he?
My ultimate chicken dishes are going down a storm. They're the perfect weekend feast for you and your mates. But this is just the start of today's CAF menu. Queen of Britain's Got Talent, Amanda Holden, is here to cook up today's special, her vegetarian moussaka.
What are we going to be cooking for you?
We are cooking Amanda's moussaka. Well, a moussaka that my nan made.
Where did that come from?
When we were little, my nan and granddad went on a coach trip and they went to Athens, they went to Greece. And when they came back, my nan was obsessed with this dish and learnt how to make it and did it. And we ate too much of it, but it was one of the best things I ever had because we thought it was exotic because it was from abroad.
So when was the last time you cooked a good old moussaka?
The last time I must have been 11, so I literally haven't had it since then, 11 or 12.
It's actually quite a modern recipe, 1920s. There's a guy here called Nicholas Stelamentes, and he is basically the Fanny Craddock of Greece. Moussaka was traditionally a meat dish, right? But you're a veggie, so I've worked up an amazing veggie version, right? And I even phoned up the grandson of this fella who still has a restaurant outside Athens. We've spoken to him, and we've got all of the kind of tips that are going to make you make an absolute astounding moussaka. But here's the thing, if you want to really learn how to cook it, you've got to cook it for all these people.
Really?
Yeah.
Our South End cafe is buzzing, and we're all cooking up a storm, with a menu packed full of feasts for the weekend. Amanda Holden is cooking moussaka, her favourite dish from childhood, as cooked by her nan. But since turning vegetarian, Amanda hasn't touched it. I tracked down the chef in Athens whose grandfather invented this dish, so I've got all of the tips for an authentic meat-free version.
First up, the aubergine.
Yes.
I think Britain really doesn't understand an aubergine. We don't know how to love
Close
it.
your eyes and feel that.
What are we thinking about?
Smut.
A bottom?
Well, it's like, it is a bit like a bottom, I think. Like quite a firm buttock. I mean, actually, this one feels quite hard.
You want a hard one?
Do you?
Yeah, because you don't want it seedy.
No.
I was shown by a lovely Greek nonna just to peel it sort of badly. That means keep some skin, but take the worst of it off. Now, have you ever heard them salting them?
Yes, to make them sweat.
The salt brings the water out. What I'm going to do is fast forward this, Amanda.
You have some ready-made.
That's 10 minutes ago. And can you see what's happened? A lot of that water comes off, and with that comes the salt as well. And I'm using oregano and pepper. Have you seen this flower and oregano?
No, I was just going. It's like one of my mum's table arrangements. That is.
Well, you just scrunch the flowers.
Oh, it smells
keep
lovely.
the stalks.
It's gorgeous. It is like old lavender.
As in the original Greek recipe, we're also going to have layers of sliced potato. They're parboiled, then tossed in olive oil and a sprinkle of oregano.
Oh, I can feel all kinds of things wobbling when I do this.
I know, and I can't comment, but God bless you. If you turn it around...
And then do it like that.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, look, you toss and I'll sprinkle.
Fabulous. I can't...
Go on.
Spent half my life doing that.
You did some dancing, didn't you?
Yes, I do tap and ballet and everything.
Have you done that a long time?
Since I was little, I mean, I wouldn't say I was a skilled dancer, but I can do it. Like when I've done West End shows and stuff.
And how did you find it? Because it is quite relentless work,
I love stage. I do love the whole thing because it's live and you can't make a mistake and the audience reaction's different every night and I love live. It's the best.
So look, potatoes are going in.
Roast them in the oven with the aubergines.
What we're going to do now is kind of do the vegetarian version of a mincemeat.
Right.
So in here I've got 2 onions. If you could slice those garlic cloves for me, just 2 cloves of garlic. That's sweet, just don't cut your fingers. A nice little trick, if you're not eating meat, is dried mushrooms. Have you done much with dried mushrooms? Good technique.
Yeah, very good.
The flavour they're going to give is going to be phenomenal. So just a little handful.
And why them and not just normal fresh mushrooms?
Because they're much more intense, they're more meaty. And I guess I'm not trying to make this vegetarian dish taste meaty, but I want it to be robust in flavour.
Yeah.
In goes some rosemary and sage before bringing out the booze.
First tip from our little friend from Greece.
Taste it.
Is yes, it's taste it. How was it? Do you mind?
It's quite full-bodied.
A little wine glass of red wine.
Yeah.
And we're going to cook it away. By now, our mushrooms have kind of softened up. And smell that.
That's like a consommé.
Yeah.
Will you use that?
Yes, I would never throw that away. So I'm just going to roughly chop that up. Now, if you look into the pan, can you see how that wine's cooked away?
Yeah,
so
everything's gone pink.
That won't be winey now. And if you can get the rest of those mushrooms in there, sweet pea.
Can I just do it with my hands?
Yeah.
Because you like chucking things. That's why we like watching you, because you just chuck it.
Rip it,
tear it, chuck it.
I'm using chickpeas and earthy poi lentils to give body to the sauce. Add the water from the dried mushrooms and, of course, some tomatoes.
They totally remind me of my mum.
What, tin tomatoes?
Tin tomatoes she used to serve with her fried breakfasts in the morning in her little hotel.
Yeah, I love tin tomatoes,
I love
don't you?
tin tomatoes.
OK, what's your best breakfast in the whole wide world? If you had a magic wand and, like, your husband...
Hash browns.
Hash browns?
I love hash browns. Chris, I would do a bit of bacon and a bit of sausage.
Are you an egg girl?
I love a fried egg.
Poached egg?
Poached last. I can't do them. I know you do all the thing, and you do vinegar, and you just do a trick, and then it's done.
Can I give you a tip?
Yeah.
OK, right. This will change your life. So you get a little bowl, you put some cling film
Will it
in
make me look younger?
It could do. Cling film, egg. You can even put salt and pepper or any herbs if you want. Tie the little bit of cling film up and just throw it in the water. Unwrap the cling film, perfect egg every single time.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's like a magic trick.
That's what I'm talking about, Amanda Holden.
Oh, my God! I am going to do that.
If that was the X Factor, would you have voted for me?
I would have put you through to the next round.
Yes.
But it's Britain's Got Talent.
Oh no, Simon's going to be really upset
No,
about
do you know what everyone says to me? Oh, we love you on X Factor, and I'm like, yeah.
This is our kind of mincy part done. We've got our potatoes and aubergines in.
Yes.
We're good for the
So
moment.
now do we just get...
Yes.
Whilst Amanda's sauce simmers, it's time for the next dish on our menu. A tasty tart from Richmond with a big history.
It was once the talk of the town, but now no one's heard of it. Can our food fight rescue this forgotten gem?
Every week, Jamie and I are hitting the road to hunt down great regional foods in danger of disappearing. And this week, we're off to Richmond on Thames.
Why are we in Richmond, Jim?
Right, the reason we're in Richmond is because there is a tart that's been made here for about 160 years. But this tart, called the Maids of Honor tart, has its roots far back to Tudor times.
Legend has it, King Henry VIII found Anne Boleyn scoffing the tarts in Hampton Court Palace with her Maids of Honor, hence the name.
He was the dude that killed all his wives, yeah?
Yeah, great big fat king.
Nice guy.
Yeah, loved his food.
The tarts became a local favourite and were fashionable throughout the borough of Richmond. But in the last 30 years, the locals seem to have forgotten their Maids of Honor.
To have a tart that can trace its origins, its heritage in Tudor times, I think is remarkable. It's got everything going for it, but the locals never heard of it. Got to change that.
Sadly, there's just one place left making these little gems, aptly named the Maids of Honor Bakery.
This looks nice, Jim,
doesn't it?
Owner Dean Martin works hard to carry on the traditions, making the tarts to the original secret recipe.
Come on, man.
Have a look at them, chaps.
So this is the Maid of Honor's tart. Sweetness. Now, there's obviously that centre there looks quite custardy.
It's not custard, but I won't tell you because it's a secret recipe.
It is unusual, isn't it? There's a savoury surprise in there.
It's like nothing you've tasted before.
Dean's recipe might be under wraps, but traditionally the tart was made from puff pastry filled with sweetened milk curds.
Who's buying this? Who comes to shop and buys it?
To be honest, we get the tourists from Asia, Singapore, Hong Kong, Japan,
How on
places
earth do
like
they
that.
know about it?
I think the Henry VIII connection.
A trickle of tourists from the Orient isn't enough to keep this tart alive. 30 years ago, the Surrey locals used to queue round the block for them. So we need to bring back the crowds to help the Maids of Honor to survive.
This is an exciting challenge.
Stop
Thanks, mate.
First, we need to find out more about the tart's glory days. So we're on our way to meet 92-year-old Mrs. Newens, the previous owner of the bakery.
She's been making it for 60 years.
Yeah.
You know, she's been on the planet for 92 years. She would have seen this whole area selling it at its heyday with queues down the road.
If anyone on this planet is going to know the most about the Maids of Honor tart, it's going to be her, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
The Newens family ran the Maids of Honor bakery for 160 years. They were a Richmond institution. And Gillian remembers just how popular the tarts once were.
So have you just collected all this stuff, memorabilia?
Well, it was all in the office. You know, I don't know what half of this stuff is.
You can tell this was a really important recipe.
But you've got letters from Winston Churchill, you know, there's bills of sale and there's adverts here saying that you supplied Duke of Cambridge. It was a high esteem. This was something that the royals had eaten and the hoi polloi of society.
Oh, yes. Yes, it was, really.
This is amazing. Let's pack this away.
Yeah.
Mrs. Newham, could we possibly have a cup of tea? Because I've got a few of your tarts and I think we should have, you know, a little time to take it all in.
A bit more of a chat.
All right.
Can you paint us a picture of the heyday of this amazing tart?
It was just amazing. People used to come and wait for them to come out of the oven, and we couldn't keep pace with it.
There was such a demand every day.
Every day.
So
we did hundreds, really.
Yeah, what sort of number were you serving every day?
Maybe 300 or 400 a day. The place was absolutely packed. It really was.
And people queuing all the way.
Queuing all round the windows, round the side.
Painted a great picture of queues going around the corner, people eagerly waiting for these amazing tarts to come out of the oven. Why do you think that the younger generation aren't going for the Maids of Honor tart?
We used to have a tea, afternoon tea, and that's what people usually buy them for. They don't do that now.
No. Well, let's see what we can do about that.
Afternoon tea is very British, and I don't think there's a better way of communicating the importance of the Maids of Honor tart than having a tea party.
It's all about getting more people through the door and keeping it alive.
We need to bring those queues back. That's what we need to do.
Yes. Well, to make them famous again.
I really like the idea of putting on an old school afternoon tea to get the locals excited about the tarts. I've got a few ideas, and I've heard that back in the day they had other versions of the Maids of Honor tart. So I want to find out more about those old recipes.
Here we go, Hampton Court.
So we've come to the place where supposedly it all began, to meet Tudor food expert Mark Meltonville.
How can I help?
Well, we have been researching an old pudding. It's got history, I believe, back to Henry VIII.
Maids of Honor. Right.
If we're going to make this thing more popular, I would like to have a go, and I just want your opinion from a historical point, of flourishing the original recipe, maybe with a little chocolate or a little bit of brandy and clementine zest. The original one that we've got here, we don't want to compromise that by, say, me saying, I want to do a blushing Maids of Honor tart by having raspberry or strawberry in there.
I can't see a problem with that. Half the recipes I've seen have a fruit conserve.
Do
at the
they?
bottom, so
Yeah.
raspberry jams, strawberry jams, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Thank you very much.
That's all.
Lovely.
Nice one, my friend.
Brilliant job. Wonderful.
Good luck with it.
Right, let's get a suit of armour on.
Looks like we've got all the info we need to give the Maids of Honor a great British comeback.
But first, time to see what they make of the tarts back in our little cafe.
Now, who would like some Maid of Honor tarts?
Get those tarts in your mouth, guys.
The tasty tarts seem to be going down well. It's amazing how many great British foods have been forgotten over the years. So, why not get curious this weekend? Raid the farmers' markets, raid the delis and the farm shops, and find out what regional foods are local to you.
When they're hot from the oven, they're naughty.
I looked at them and I thought, oh, they look a bit dry. Actually, they're really moist, which is one of my favourite words.
Yeah.
But it is really moist.
Here at our cafe in Southend, the menu is all about feasting at the weekend.
So far, our diners have had my 2 blowout roast chickens and a delicious tart from Richmond. But now it's time for the next part of the feast, Jimmy's ultimate doner kebab.
This isn't something you can do in the kitchen, so I'm heading back to my farm to indulge in a bit of gourmet DIY. If you thought doners were dodgy, think again. Jamie reinvented the roast, now I'm going to reinvent the kebab. It might be known as the ultimate Friday night booze soaker, but done well, a traditional Turkish doner kebab is a great way to slow roast meat. I'm going to show you how to build one from an old oil drum, some wire mesh, and a barbecue rotisserie kit, and you can get all of it online. It'll cost around 50 quid to build and will make a great weekend party piece.
When you go to a kebab shop, you see them rotating, don't you, on those burners. I'm going to make one of those out of this. What I need to do is I need to cut a section out so I can put my kebab in and put my fire in.
I've cleaned out the drum and I'm straight in with the angle grinder.
Whew. It's a bit like when you make a barbecue out of one of these barrels, and there's loads of those around. Same sort of principle, but I'm turning mine up on its end because the meat is going to rotate round like that, and that's going to help keep that meat lovely and succulent. For the heat, I'm going to need some little platforms, little shelves in here to hold the charcoal.
I want some steel mesh shelves so I can stack the fire vertically up the drum. And a hole in the top is going to hold the mega skewer.
Spit fits. Ta-da!
I'm using charcoal to give the kebab that great barbecue taste.
Because the fires are on shelves, it means you can really get them revved up because the air is moving up through. Now look at that. Bet your life Jamie's never seen a kebab cooked like this before.
That's the first stage of my DIY doner contraption complete. Now, onto the meat. This is going to be a gourmet kebab. I'm using traditional cuts that are packed with flavour.
I'm using shoulder of lamb, wonderful structure, wonderful flavour. And breast of lamb, there's not a great deal of meat on it, but there's lovely fat on here. I want to do layers of meat. So I want to do a nice bit of shoulder, then a nice bit of breast, then a nice bit of shoulder.
Layering up thin pieces of meat is a traditional Turkish method. I'm using around 100 quid's worth of lamb to feed a big party. But you can easily downsize.
The bashing opens it up, but also I'm tenderising it.
A punchy marinade of lemon, onions and herbs will also help it keep tender and juicy.
Right, time to build the kebab.
This giant skewer came in the barbecue rotisserie kit. Just load up the meat, slice by slice.
I'd love to serve this up at a dinner party. I'd invite Jamie round, Mr. Taste Buds, and I'd just love to see his face because he'd go, what do you mean? What do you mean, some dirty old Donna? And then he'd have this served up. I think he'd knock his socks off.
The traditional cylindrical shape, or elephant leg as we love to call it, means this tower of meat will constantly baste itself as it cooks.
Slow roasting, and I love that. You'd be standing there with a beer, and this thing is just slowly going around. You hear it spitting, and it's just the best thing. That is proper.
Wrap it up tightly to help it keep its shape, and when the marinade's worked its magic, it's showtime.
If you do this, you want to get your kids out of the way and you want to be well prepped. Don't take any chances. I've got plenty of fireproof gloves and stuff like that. Right, kebab time.
The barbecue rotisserie kit also comes with a motor.
Now, there we go. Fingers crossed. Check it out! Homemade doner kebab in an oil barrel. Slowly, slowly going around roasting.
The meat on the outside sears beautifully, while the meat inside cooks low and slow, self-basting in its juices.
Can't tell you how excited I am about this, because that meat already sizzle, 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 and I can see it starting to brown up. I almost want to carve and eat it now.
Once you've built it, you can cook kebabs big or small. It looks the business, and I reckon Jamie and the calf are gonna love it.
Who wants a bit of doner? Look at that, my friend.
It does look very, very good. It certainly doesn't look like the kebabs we grew up on. That's all that lovely lamb breast, lovely shoulder, but those cuts are great. And if you look, that intramuscular fat just melts away as it cooks. But you think of kebabs growing up, you always say, oh, I'd never eat one during the day. You'd have to be drunk. Yeah, yes. But this, well, these are cuts of meat. You know, the ones we grew up on was like a big giant burger, like an elephant's leg. And you just didn't know what went into it. And the other day I was going to work and I went past the kebab shop and the lights were all off and it was all locked up and the kebab was still there in the window. No! And I knew they were just going to come back at lunchtime and turn it on again.
This one is a proper crowd pleaser. Serve it up with all the kebab shop trimmings for a fun weekend feast.
Now it's time for today's special, Amanda Holden's Veggie Moussaka.
Get some of that in your goal.
Oh, it's really good.
So,
I mean, bizarrely, it tastes quite meaty.
and that's why I did those
And
meaty
I'm not
herbs.
averse to that.
Yeah. So that's the heart of your moussaka, right? Let's not forget we've got the aubergine and potato still roasting.
Yeah.
Let's do a simple bechamel. So this is kind of like day one at college. So I've got like 2 big knobs of butter.
Because there's no calories in that.
There is.
That's fresh air.
I know that's quite a lot of butter,
No, it's not.
but this will serve 10 people. So if those 10 people were having a bit of butter on their toast in the morning.
That's nothing. I'd use just that for my toast. I love butter.
Do you? OK, so 2 large knobs of butter.
Yeah.
To 2 large...
Is this what you call a roux?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember
heaped
that.
tablespoons of flour, and we're going to stir it. Now, classically, we would heat up milk and flavour it with bay leaf, but to be honest, I think we've got enough flavour in this.
Yeah.
So when that starts to fry, I'm going to put in the milk, and I'm just going to do it bit by bit. Sometimes I use
See, I would panic now. I'd come off there. And
No,
do
go
that.
on hard.
No, keep
Hard
going,
heat,
going,
Tyler.
hard heat. Oh,
Yeah.
God. This is actually good for bingo wings, I think.
Yeah, you're working out.
Working out my wrists.
Now we need to add some cheese.
This is called kefalo dilly.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I know.
That's
Shall I
beautifully
say again?
done. Kefalo dilly.
Kefalo dilly. The job of this is to kind of like gunk it all up and make it all kind of nice and seal the top and make it just cook gorgeous.
It's kind of the Greek version of Parmesan, and whisked in will add tons of flavour to our bechamel sauce.
The Greeks use eggs to thicken things a lot. And I actually quite like this. This takes it from a boring old French bechamel to the most incredible white sauce. So if you keep whisking, in with the yolk, right? We will never cook it again at this point. So it's off the heat. And if you wanted to, this is not classic, you could even go in with a little bit of feta.
I love feta cheese.
And have those little kind of bits in.
Time to layer the whole thing up with those sliced potatoes, aubergines, feta, and the sauce.
You want that white sauce. The job of it really is just to kind of seal it.
So now you're plastering.
Yeah, now I think you should do it because it's your thing. Go on.
Well, I think plasterers are underrated.
I agree. I think
It is, but I would say it's the most satisfying job. See, but I can still see a bit of wall.
Okay, let me give you a bit more.
I'd have a little bit more. Just a smidge. That's it, that's it. Beautiful. Maybe I'll go on a plastering course.
You come and grow out my bathroom. That is Mandy's Moussaka. I'm going to whack that in the oven for 40 minutes until golden and delicious. All you got to do now is 25 portions. So you call to make another one and rattle those out. Guys, are you still hungry? Yes! They're really hungry.
Okay, yes,
Good
chef.
luck. The pressure's on.
The pressure's on.
It's late afternoon in Southend and our cafe is buzzing. We've got a menu full of real wow factor dishes, perfect for weekend feasts.
How are you doing, darling?
I'm excuse fingers. I think it's all right.
While Amanda cracks on cooking her veggie moussaka, it's time to continue our fight to save the Maids of Honor.
The tarts have gone down a storm in the cafe, and now we want to get the good people of Surrey to love them too. The Maids of Honor tarts are said to date back to the time of Henry VIII and were once so popular that people would come from miles around, queuing around the block to buy these tasty curd tarts.
But these days, the only people buying them are foreign tourists.
There is room out there for the locals to get on board and get behind it, and I think that is really encouraging. The idea of this being the pastry of this area of London totally makes sense.
These regional gems are delicious, and we want to get them back on the map. If we can get the locals to taste them, we reckon they'll love them. So we're going to hold a big event to put the tarts back in the spotlight.
The one thing that really got us is having tea with that lovely, lovely lady, hearing the history, and having the tea and having the Maids of Honor there.
There's nothing my wife loves more than a bit of afternoon tea, a bit of tea and cake.
Yeah. And so I reckon to really push this tart is get the locals to a massive tea party.
Well, let's arrange it.
Let's put on the best tea party this town's ever seen.
Let's do it.
I think all we've got to do now, let's tell the chaps what we're doing and make this tea party a reality. Good boy. Put your foot down and stop talking.
All right.
Jimmy's going to drum up the locals, whilst I head back to the bakery to get cooking.
Guys, for today, we have got the original Maid of Honor tarts, okay? So that'll be one tray.
The original recipe is great, but to make a big splash, I want to play with different flavours and fillings to get the locals excited.
Maybe there's a little chocolate Maid of Honor tart. Maybe there's a tipsy Maid of Honor tart. Maybe there's marmalade, strawberry. For me, that sort of feels quite exciting. Look at that. So what was your favourite flavour?
That would be orange, vanilla and brandy.
That's mine as well, actually, but I have to say I was quite surprised at how good the chocolate one was.
Alex, what was your favourite?
Apricot jam.
Apricot, chocolate and brandy.
I'm excited. I reckon the different versions will get more locals to give the tarts a try.
That's you, get on this bus. Come on, let's go. All on, upstairs.
And that's where I come in, with my Maids of Honor tour bus, to get the locals back in touch with their culinary past.
OK, people from Richmond, you have got your very own tart. The mad thing about this lovely tart, the Maids of Honor tart, it is more well known to Japanese tourists than it is to you locals. But we're here to bring it back to the people.
While Jimmy rounds up the locals, I've taken over lovely Richmond Green to hold our massive, typically British tea party.
I think people are going to love it.
I should think.
What's not to love?
I'm giving Maids of Honor pride of place in the hope of getting them firmly back on the map. All I need now is Jimmy and a horde of hungry locals.
Make your way all round the table.
Richmond, thank you very, very much for coming. This is very exciting. Ready, steady, tart.
How are you getting on, guys? Which was your favourite?
The apricot one.
Apricot,
was amazing.
Lovely Marius, have you tried a Maid of Honor?
I have. It's absolutely delicious, mouth-watering.
And is this the first time you've tried it?
It's the first time.
Nice with a cup of tea? Very nice.
So listen, how are you finding the Maids of Honor tarts?
Well, I found the first three really good. I'm struggling with number 4.
You've nearly had number 4?
Yeah.
That shows you love that tart.
I do like them very much.
This one is a apricot one that's gorgeous.
Yeah?
It is.
Lovely. Is it the first time you guys have had the Maids of Honor tart today?
Yeah.
OK. What are we feeling?
It's delicious.
Amazing.
Yeah?
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got to introduce you to someone who is a local food hero. It's only Dean Martin. But this chap alone is now the custodian of the very tarts you've been tasting.
So, guys, you have your opportunity to keep this beautiful tart alive. So, don't lose it to a pan au chocolat.
No.
Oh, no.
You've got to fight for these maids. Keep them local, keep them alive. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah! Hopefully the future of this tart is secure.
I think it is.
Come on, Jim.
Let's go.
I think we need to go down the pub.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Take
care. Should we hold hands?
Yeah, come on.
The tarts have gone down a treat, and hopefully Maids of Honor will soon be pride of Richmond once again.
So how good was that tea party?
Fantastic. Great day.
Amazing, all the community there, but tell me, what's happened with the Maids of Honor's tarts?
Some of the people from around Richmond have started coming in to see what it's like now, and it's been going down really well.
So a little bit more response from the locals.
Indeed, yeah, very much so.
Not just the tourists.
They seem to have really embraced it. It's fantastic. We've now designed a little selection box that we're going to start putting up for sale so people can get a taste of all flavours.
I like that, look at that.
That's perfect.
All the flavours on the back?
Yeah, my wife would love that. Go to a little dinner party, afternoon tea. I mean, I think, you know, this is a brilliant cake to sort of celebrate afternoon tea, isn't it? A bit of this, bit of that.
I think so, yeah. And with all the different flavours in, it's, you know, it's just another dimension.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the tart is back in town. Mate, how's Amanda getting on? Ooh.
It's the moment of truth for Amanda and her veggie moussaka. Has she done enough to win over our diners?
I feel quite proud of that.
You should.
It looks really professional.
Right then, Amanda. How's Amanda's moussaka?
It is. What do you think?
Gorgeous. You put feta on the top. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Love that.
It's a little bit brown, which is good.
If you let it sit for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, it's all the better. You just kind of want it just to sort of get, like, dense and sort of like when you cut
So
it.
that's why it's called Mandy's Moussaka. It's a little bit dense and
Gorgeous and tasty. I like the crispy bits at the edge. So look, a little simple, kind of deconstructed Greek salad, but that's for you. That's dedicated to you. Have a little taste.
Oh my God.
Don't just forget manners. Just dive in, get filthy with it. But is it bringing back memories? Am I anywhere close?
Oh my God.
I mean, I know it's different.
It's better than Ethel's, bless her. Sorry, Nan. It is gorgeous.
Try a bit of cucumber, because hopefully that cucumber will just slap you around the face and...
I just put it there like that, look. And you can look 20 years younger after you've finished.
Are you guys ready for some food?
One of those bits.
See, look how he drapes it.
You probably only need one on each.
Do you?
That's it, give me those.
We just hang on, because it's the mint. Hang on, no.
Have it on here.
You tell him,
Ready.
Amanda.
It's not ready.
You shout, Amanda.
Hang on, that hasn't got mint.
Oh, gosh, she's quite bossy.
That's the thing that makes it.
Service, please.
When I told my mum I was doing it, she said, "Oh, do you think I should ring Jamie and tell him the recipe?" And I was like, I think he'll find out for himself.
Guys, how good is Amanda's Moussaka?
Absolutely brilliant.
What a day. Amanda's Greek feast packed a punch and pleased the cafe crowd.
I made the ultimate DIY doner kebab.
I dished up 2 chicken showstoppers to transform your Sunday roast.
And a great regional British tart is back on the map.
We hope you're inspired to get busy this weekend. Next time on Friday Night Feast, I'm cooking my ultimate seafood feast.
This is about a luxurious, gorgeous thing where you can concentrate, focus, and blow people away.
We're fighting to put a lost beer cocktail from Sussex back on the map.
Huckle my buff, anyone?
And Kirsty Allsop is cooking an Indian classic.
It's a sort of Bloody Mary meets a tiny little mouthful of delicious Indian flavour.